The Sox continue this 4-game series tonight. They also got some bad news on Curtis Mead. Originally, an X-ray on his left wrist came back negative at the ballpark after he got hit by a pitch 2 nights ago. But further testing yesterday revealed a fracture. He's been put on the injured list. He flew back to Boston late last night. He'll see a specialist today. Patriots had full attendance from the active roster yesterday in Foxborough as training camp continued. Christian Gonzalez told the media he's going to keep contract extension talks between his team and the front office private. The players have today off. The first padded practice of the summer will take place tomorrow morning. In other NFL news, Browns defensive back Denzel Ward signed a 2-year, $62.2 million contract extension. Philadelphia has signed defensive lineman Jalen Carter to a 4-year, $152 million extension. And Tampa's Baker Mayfield will enter the final year of his contract without a new deal. He will head into the regular season after contract talks stalled. And in NBA news, now that LeBron James is in Philadelphia, Golden State has re-signed Draymond Green to a 1-year, $27.7 million deal. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured, not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Deep three, violent two-hand slam. Wow.
98.5 Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
Yes, I finally shaved my nuts.
and Hardy
Who, me?
Just hanging around.
on 98.5.
Tinkerman, heard about you.
Yeah.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
That's gross.
Not a great cook, but I do cook.
When I asked him about the sides,
Kick them in the balls.
I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior.
Blaze Bailey is omitted.
Toucher and Hardy
We're the best friends that can be, my buddy and me.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
On in. You have a very agitated show today.
Yes!
Hardy and I did not sleep. We didn't even know each other couldn't sleep. But both of us could not sleep last night.
You had trouble staying asleep. I had trouble falling asleep last night.
Yeah, this is a new thing for me. I used to just have trouble falling asleep, but now I have trouble staying asleep, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would say once or twice a week, this is my new thing. I have trouble falling asleep. And part of it was Marcy and Katie went to the rock show last night. And I think it's a rock show they went to last night. And I don't know, and them both being out, and it's just different, you know. House felt a little wrong. And I did not fall asleep until after they got home.
Well, my son got home at close to midnight and turned all the lights on and started going crazy.
Yeah.
So that
Making
was happening.
smoothies with lots of ice cubes that need to be blended and crushed.
Yeah, they play basketball until 10 o'clock at night, and then they go to McDonald's for like 2 hours. So I can only imagine working that McDonald's.
Yeah, I see. Katie doesn't do it as much anymore, but yeah, right around the age that Milo is now, that would be their thing. Hang out at McDonald's for hours. And I don't think they're inside. They're probably out in the parking lot. You know what they're doing? McDonald's used to have the little stir straws that you would use as cocaine spoons. Maybe those have come back. Maybe they're just out there using the spoons.
Yeah, probably.
For the booger sugar.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
Kids love Coke.
Solid parenting.
Ain.
We used to hang out at Taco Bell, and I saw a lot of crazy stuff happen at Taco Bell. People used to just go to that Taco Bell, but then there was the kid who's there was people that were cousins, these Italian guys that were cousins, and their sister was murdered by this guy, and a relative of the guy that murdered the sister showed up at Taco Bell while the cousins of the girl that was murdered were there.
Oh, man.
And one of the guys of the girl that was murdered, the cousin like leapt onto the car. It's so stupid, but he leapt onto the car and started like smashing the windshield and kicking the windshield and going crazy and like because I guess the guy in the car said something to him. I don't even know really what happened. There was no cell phones, but and they were older too. They were, I think, in college at the time or college age. I don't know if they went to college, but they were like, that was the thing that I've been sharing with people recently. Is there was an awful lot of adults around, like technically adults, like up to fighting, like around me. Like there was always like guys. I told you that you would be walking through, or not me, it didn't happen to me, but you would be. There was always that threat of it, but like someone would be walking through the hallways at high school, and like a little freshman would come up and like deliberately bump them, and they would have words, and then the kid would come out of school, and there was this little office park, like very small office park up on a hill, like by the parking lot of our high school. And you'd get out of school and there'd be like 5 30-year-olds standing there, the Chaldeans, 5 30-year-olds standing there. And like, you know, like, come up here, come up here, come up here. And you're like, oh my God, like what's going, like mustaches and everything. And you're like, what's going on? Because the guy's cousins.
Yeah.
Like they were the cousins of the
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
And so you would sit there, and that was the fear.
Yeah, some 25-year-old or 30-year-old is going to be up there to jump into a high school altercation between 16-year-olds.
It's just so weird to think about. And then I remember when I like got out of college, and I was thinking like, you couldn't pay me to go by that high school again. Like what were they doing? Like, it was just an excuse to fight or an excuse to be intimidating, I guess, I suppose. Like, I don't recall the guys there ever leading to anything at the school. But there was the time that there's this girl who had a party. She was a dirt road girl. The part of Farmington Hills with the dirt roads.
Oh, yeah.
And she lived behind the 7-Eleven. The one on Orchard Lake and 13 Mile.
Oh, shit.
And they're in the wall between the 7-Eleven, she was having a party and I was there, but I wasn't involved in this fracas. And there were people having words with the Chaldean gentleman on the other side of the wall. And all of a sudden, quack, crack, 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 crack. Chaldean dude just started firing off shots in the air.
Oh, God. How old were you?
High school. But I mean, it was just, it's just like you're out of your mind.
God.
You're out of your mind. But that happened.
Yeah,
That girl's boyfriend killed himself. He was my friend from college that killed himself.
Man.
No. Good morning.
No, I'm just thinking about hanging out at I've been
The McDonald's / Taco Bell hang, and it's like, it seems so weird to me now. And when you said that, Fred, I just remembered, we did the exact same thing because there was one McDonald's about a mile from the high school and no other place for high school kids to hang out. And there was no other, like, even fast food around there. So that's what we did. We went to that McDonald's where they still had the ashtrays in them.
Oh yeah, you could smoke at McDonald's.
The foil ashtrays.
Yeah, when I lived in Atlanta, like they very. So I think when I moved here, that you could still smoke in bars in Atlanta. They grandfathered that out very slowly, because like I was smoking in bars when I'm sure in 2006 I was smoking in bars in Atlanta. Everyone smoked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was like in Vegas. Where I go back now, and it's, if I ever smell a cigarette, it's, how often do you smell someone smoking a cigarette now? Well, like when you're just walking around.
Not often. It's really weird to see someone smoke.
But when it happens, like if I'm downtown walking around and I get the cigarette smoke mixed in with the asphalt smell, that's Vegas. Like, oh yeah, it's all paved and everybody's smoking all the time.
Well, they say that the smell, your sense of smell, triggers memories more than maybe anything else. Mm-hmm. So you probably have like it, but you probably only think the good things. So when you smell the asphalt and the smoke, do you immediately go back to like Vegas, a good time?
Well, it was like 50-50. I mean, like half of it was hell and the other half was really good. But yeah, I generally think about, oh, yeah, this is the feeling of like heading out after lunch and it's, 110 degrees. And I'm like, I'm just going to rip a butt out here before I get in the car and drive to. Would I be driving to work at that point? First few years, no. I didn't have to be into work until about 4 p.m. when I first started in Vegas. That made for some very long days, very long nights, which would never end. And then just end up going to work on no sleep.
Well,
that was a good idea.
Nights was an easier schedule than mornings. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it now at my age, but like in your 20s, that's not a bad shift.
No, it wasn't bad.
And especially in Vegas, because Vegas is open 24 hours a day, and Atlanta was open till 4.
Yeah, I was getting off the air. I can't remember if I was on until 11 or 12, but the second shift people, the 4 to midnight people, will be getting off around the same time I would. So we'll go to the bar, generally the one essentially across the street from the radio station. It was 24/7 and served decent food. And you go in there and slide a 20 into the video poker machine at the bar, and you drink for free. And, if you gamble enough, your food's comped too. And it was a good deal, because all I would have to do is gamble about $800 worth, and I would get
Good for you.
free drinks and a sandwich.
Hey.
To get like $100, so like it was a 1 for 8.
It was okay. So I guess if you're doing the math, it was probably like a $700 net loss. But
but it's free money.
It's still. It's like the hotel rooms in Vegas. Hey, I got a free room. Oh, how'd you do this weekend? I lost $7,000.
Yeah.
No, but I got a free room.
Yeah.
And the buffet.
Oh, yeah.
They caught me the buffet.
So.
It's difficult to remember bad times from that era. I just know that things got decidedly less fun when my goal of getting the morning show happened. That's when things got very serious and not nearly as fun. There was something about having a job that you didn't really. It was very loose at night. I could really do whatever I wanted, and I really wouldn't get in trouble. I said a lot of stuff probably that would have gotten me fired in the mornings, at night, and there was really no one cared. And it was back when everyone was listening to music radio, so like there was a lot of listeners and stuff, but there was very little pressure. And then I got that morning show, and then
Shut it down.
Yeah, then everything just constantly in trouble and constantly the job is in jeopardy. It was just always so stressful.
A lot of micromanaging, too, I would imagine.
We had 2 consultants, 2 different consultants.
There's no better job, there wasn't at one time, than being a radio consultant, because you could say basically anything. There was no repercussions, and you got to micromanage people all to your heart's content.
But it's just so funny that there was 2 consultants, because by definition, they would counter each other. Like they would have opposing views on the same subject matter.
Yeah.
And they would say things, I'll never forget this, because I think we tried it once. They said one time, you know what guys love? Guys love gadgets. You should do like a gadget segment.
Yes.
And then you think about it now and you're like, you got paid to say that? Like you got paid. What did you do? You opened up like the in-flight magazine and saw these doodads and said like, oh, I bet you guys like this. Someone circled this.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Slow down a little bit. What types of gadgets?
Guy gadgets.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because the guy that did the morning show before me, the one who sued me, used to say, like, part of his biography was, like, he can't keep, I think it might be, he can't keep his hands off the new gadgets.
Yeah. Electronic and
gadgets.
otherwise. Sure.
He loves gadgets.
Good for him.
So the guy came in and he had this big presentation, and in a good portion of it, and they're like, tell us your perfect day. Like, they would do these exercises with us. Like, tell us your perfect day. And it was just awful.
Starts with no meeting with a consultant.
Yeah.
That's at the top of the list.
Either of those consultants have any on-air experience at all?
No, there's no way.
no,
Well,
no.
if they did, they weren't any good at it.
Well, yeah, which is why they were consultants.
Dude, I don't know if I ever had a consultant in Boston. I certainly, there was a heavy hand of management.
Yeah, I was just
going to
say-
management, but I don't know if I ever had a consultant.
When this show started, there was no consultants.
I'm trying to remember if we had one at BCN.
No, Dave was just the man.
Yeah, I don't know. Now they've been in the building, and there are certainly consultants for the other radio stations. I think. Do you remember Tom Calderon?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was still consulting for Beasley, like as recently as, like when we were over in Dorchester. I saw him in the building over there.
Yeah,
once.
so did I.
Yeah, they had ideas for. Here's something. I don't know if it was Calderon or somebody else. It was when I'd started doing the Fuppets for Felger and Maz. They're like, "These are great. You need to do one every week." And I said, "Oh yeah." And they're like, "Absolutely. This is gold." And I said, "Uh huh." And I, as you're supposed to do with consultants, you just agree with them. It was actually Maddie who told me this years ago. Whenever someone tells you something like that, you just agree and then go ahead and do what you know is right. And I knew it was right to essentially keep it to once a month or even less. I'm like, oh, you want to do one a week and make everybody sick of it and have it be just something else that they scroll past? Gotcha. Done. I'll get right on that.
The thing I remember is that when we were in Dorchester, I would sit through these meetings where I just sat in them. And I don't know, John, if you remember this, about some Mario Kart tournament.
Yes.
In a Gannis Arena.
Yep.
Where people would be playing on the big screen.
Originally, it was at Gannis. They moved it to Boston College, and then it just never happened.
It was just
Yes,
so
I remember
dumb.
that.
I don't even know. And that seems like a gadgety kind of thing.
Mike Gorman was going to call play-by-play of the championship. There was a whole itinerary. I remember this, yes.
It was the most convoluted idea.
I was in those meetings, too. Yep.
Yeah.
TN Arcade.
There you go. That's right. That's what it was.
Did that just come from like people like Mario Kart? Because I never played Mario Kart in my life. I'm too old.
I think the focus was Mario Kart.
Yeah, no,
And
I
then
know it was
arcade
Mario
games as
Kart,
well.
but it was Mario Kart. That
Yes.
was like what people were going to be playing.
That was, yeah, and then there was the idea to put retro video games around the perimeter of that.
How the hell was that going to happen?
I don't know.
Can't even get a bar tab at an event.
I know.
I mean,
That would have been a
how's
problem. There was more money available back then, apparently.
Yeah, but it just seems like such a dumb idea. I don't know. I had nothing to do with it, and it never happened as I could have. But it just seems like we wasted days and days and days talking about some ridiculous event at some arena, and I think it wasn't even management's idea, but I don't remember whose idea it was. But I just remember I would come home and tell Stephanie, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. We're doing this horse crap. Some video games on a big screen. This is a huge way. I don't understand it. I don't understand how this is an event. I don't understand how any of this is going to work. Like what people do when they lose. You just sit there and like watch people play video games.
No, you go play one of the retro video games.
I'm sure I participated at some point, but I just would come. But I like you, Hardy. I was just like, oh yeah, okay. I did that a lot. I'd just be like, okay, yeah. And then it would just get. But then the thing is, it just kept being. You keep having meetings and meetings and meetings.
Yeah.
And you would and I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, this. And then it started to occur to me, this is never going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's good.
The more meetings that take place for something like that, generally there's an inverse probability of the thing actually happening.
Yes.
If you have to meet about it and talk about it and hash it out that much, maybe it's not a great idea.
No. Yeah, things should be a little more turnkey than that. But it was very bold of us to think that we were going to get a hockey arena and fill it with people to watch video games being played. I mean, the Gannis Arena or BU, they're both pretty large rooms. You know, at least a couple thousand. I've certainly
That's right.
Gannis is more than
It
that.
was in BC. It was Northeastern. That's what it was. It was BU, and then that didn't work. And then they tried Northeastern. There were security concerns. I don't know why it got squashed eventually.
Well, it got squashed because it was untenable. There was no way that it was going to happen.
Well,
It
and I understand that maybe still even to this day there are Twitch streamers that are gamers that have 1 billion people watching them, and they're famous in this little nook and cranny of the universe. Fine, get it, but I remember being told the same thing, like how this is big. If you really want to expand your brand, start doing play-by-play for live gamers and stuff like that. And I just remember once again nodding and saying, yep, I'll get on that. I'll hone that part of my resume. And then thinking, there's no way in hell that's ever going to take off to the point where that's a necessity, much less a good career path. I don't believe it.
Do you want to hear from Don from Carver?
Yeah, of course.
Don, hello.
Hey, guys. Fred, are we okay, Fred, you and I?
Huh?
Are you okay with Don?
Why would I not be okay with Don from Carver?
Yeah, Don.
The old days that when I was tripping over myself.
Oh, yeah, when you said you were going to beat him up in an alley.
Yeah, well, come on.
I've somehow gotten over that, Don from Carver.
That was such a yesterday's news that meant nothing. Listen, Eddie Garadesky, do you remember the name? He was before BCN, but he went into BCN after WERS 88.9.
I don't know Eddie Garadesky.
No, but what about him, Don?
Oh, okay. There's a video on YouTube where they do a song called I Don't Want to Give Up My Rock and Roll Shoes, which was a Chuck Willis song. And it's done by the Memphis Rockabilly Band. At the time, they had a female lead, and they were my band at my wedding.
Oh, look at that. The Toasters were the band at my wedding. Cost me $10,000, and my father-in-law wouldn't pay. So there you go.
Is that Don gone?
Yeah, I kept him. I put him on hold so you could talk to him off air.
Now I'm going to get an email from Don.
Oh, so?
What, that was an inappropriate time to end the on-air phone call?
Yes.
I didn't give him the proper goodbye?
No.
It's very rude of me hosting a show just to move on like that.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I should have said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and then did the platitudes.
Don, you can send the email. That's fine. I will reply more quickly than I did to the last one. Everything's fine. Fred did enjoy your phone call. We all did.
Well, you hang up when someone's done talking.
You did. You think he was done talking?
Well, I mean, when the conversation's done, it's 6:24. We got a break, but we'll be back with everything that happened last night. Late game for the Red Sox, some bad injury news for them. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm not a nice.
Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what is going on?
Well, let's talk about this first before we get into what actually happened with the Red Sox game last night. Curtis Mead, your newest acquisition for the Boston Red Sox, who took a pitch off his wrist in his second at-bat with the team a couple of nights ago against the Athletics. We were told it was a contusion, just a bruise. Apparently, it's a little bit more than that. Curtis Mead now on the IL. Curtis?
Yeah, no, it's challenging. Definitely mentally challenging. Came here to kind of play and be with the group down the stretch. So yeah, it's definitely disappointing, but I'm hopeful that I can be back soon.
Well, that's not happening.
No. Fractured wrist. You got to figure 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever it is. And even when it gets back, wrists and hands are tough.
Plus, you got to hit. I mean, you got to
on hitters.
It's 6 to 8 weeks probably for the bone to heal enough to start hitting.
And even when you do get in the box, you got that wrist out. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh.
Oh, you
just take him inside.
He's gonna be spooked. You're saying he's gonna be afraid. Hot tamales. Yeah, that's fire Breslow. I don't know. I don't know. You're getting guys who get hurt.
Honestly, the Sox are due for one of these. Their luck, which has been overwhelmingly positive over the last month or two.
That's double bad luck, though. You got a right-handed bat, and how's it going to work out?
I'm just going to say it's the luck evening itself out. I mean, you have home runs that land, grand slams that land a foot over the wall. You have line drives right at people with runners on second and third against Baltimore last week. It's a base hit.
John, that's the second time you've said that. That was a pretty good snag on that catch.
He moved one step to his right to catch it.
He had to lift his glove way up in the air.
I see. So all I'm saying is this is luck kind of evening itself out, unfortunately,
all right,
for the Red Sox. It's a tough situation. It's not ideal. But, in some ethereal sense, I understand it.
Chad Tracy, this is your fault, as you presumably told him to lean into that one, Kelly Leak style, and just to get on base. What do you have to say for yourself?
Big picture, my mind goes to, obviously feel terrible for him, but you guys know me, my mind goes to, okay, we're going to pivot back to the team that won 15 in a row together in 20 out of 23, and we're going to play baseball and win a game tonight.
You guys know. You know the Trace. You know him like the back of your hand. This guy's been around for 3 months. You know how he thinks. You guys know how I'm feeling about this whole thing.
We've established quite a rapport here over the last 20 minutes or so that we've been talking. All right. So, did they win that game last night? Things started didn't get away from them, but they were going in the wrong direction. Bottom second.
On the ground, center field base hit. Bolte. Tommy White to the plate. Rafaela's throw is cut. A strike first.
It's always Sacramento that the announcer doesn't go to. They don't want to be in Sacramento. That's the game. That's the series that you take off.
Dave O'Brien took these 4 games off.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence.
They don't want to go to
He'll be at Dodger Stadium this weekend, though. You could book that. Yeah.
They don't want to go to the armpit of California?
No.
Nobody
does.
Yeah, I don't know anyone personally that has been to Sacramento. I would gather.
I've been there once.
Oh, you have?
Well, yeah, and it was the Celtic. I was wondering when I was calling Celtic games. Sacramento was the end of a long road trip, and there was an extra day that you would have to stay in Sacramento. Say the game's Thursday night, you fly in on Wednesday morning. The Celtics specifically hopped on a bus after a flight that landed at 1 a.m, took an hour bus ride to Napa Valley to stay at a resort there instead of staying in Sacramento for the extra day.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just read how terrible it's always been. Because, Joan Didion's from there, and it's just terrible in the 40s and 50s. It just seems like a terrible place that you'd never go to. And there's a lot of terrible places, obviously, that, people go to. But Sacramento... They're just, unless you're the governor of California, I don't really know why you would ever be in Sacramento. It doesn't seem like somewhere, and even if you're the governor, you probably don't even spend any time there, but it just seems like a very random place. Out of all the places with teams, it might seem the most random. More random than even like Winnipeg.
Well, I'm not ready to say that.
Well, Winnipeg's in Canada, and that's just a mystery.
It's in the middle of legit nowhere.
Yeah, it's
Winnipeg.
It's Western Canada, though, and that's all anyone's guess. I don't know what goes on out there, but I've been to California. I've been to San Francisco. I've been in L.A. a bunch of times. I've been to San Diego. I've been to California.
Yeah.
I'll never be to Alberta, most likely. That's where Winnipeg is, Alberta, I would assume.
I know it's...
I'm guessing it's Alberta.
North of North Dakota. I have no idea where that is.
I'm assuming it's Alberta. No offense to the Canadians if I'm incorrect, but there's the chances of me being in Alberta before I die are very slim.
I would have signed off on that. It is, in fact, Manitoba.
Okay, well, even less chance of that I would be in Manitoba. So, I'm just going to take everyone's word for it up there. But California is a state I've been to, and a lot of people go to and live in.
There's not much to Sacramento. Not much.
No, it's. Let's take one of the largest coasts. I believe the largest coast next to Alaska in the United States, and move it way inland.
Yeah. What else do we have from the game last night? Oh, Well, Red Sox would hang in there. It would be seventh inning before more runs would be scored, unfortunately, by the A's.
This is tagged center field. Rafaela goes back, looks up, it is gone. Hard contact right there from Brian Servant.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
First major league homer in 4 years for that guy.
Yeah. So we've got a 3-0 ball game there after 7. Red Sox finally get on the board in the 8th. And then in the, let's see, yes, it is also the 8th inning. The A's would give themselves a little insurance.
Hit well center fields. Rafaela bolts back, reaches out, can't make the play. Tommy White gets the windmill around third, and Lawrence Butler comes through, and the A's get the run back here in the 8th.
Running out
Star after star after star.
I know. But this team, they're not dead. 9th inning, Connor Wong to the rescue.
Led off with a single, and now Wong rockets one, left field, to the wall and gone.
She wants to rocket ride. She wants to rocket ride. That's Ace Frehley from Kiss talking about boning.
Yeah.
She wants to bone. Rocket ride.
Big hit.
The Red Sox are within a run on a laser from Connor Wong.
How about
Is it
that?
a laser or a rocket, stupid?
It's both. It's a laser rocket or a rocket laser. It's a 4-3 ball game. You're going to pull this one out?
Ziegler strikes one well. Left center field. Bolte back at the wall. He makes the catch. Oh, to end it in Sacramento.
Uh-oh. Last week, that's over the wall. It's in the gap. It's bouncing around. Not this time.
Yeah, you're
Look out.
Connor Mead.
The luck is changing.
Last week it would have been just a bruise. Now it's a fractured
I
wrist.
know, and that ball, which wouldn't have been caught, the guy would have fell over. It would have been a double or a triple.
All right, everyone shush and let me read some poetry.
Okay.
All right? You guys are debating sports too much.
Is it? Are you going to read Ace Frehley lyrics? I don't even have to look over there.
It's not Ace Frehley lyrics. It's Kiss lyrics.
Oh.
Lady Space, you like the way I make you feel inside. Take a rocket ride.
Okay.
From the start, you wanted to fly. I got the rocket, and you want the ride.
Penis.
Don't interrupt my poem. I got the rocket, and you want the ride. Take a rocket ride.
Yeah.
Baby wants it fast. Baby wants a blast. She wants a rocket ride. She wants a rocket ride. Lady Space, you better wake up fast. Countdown is coming on. Take a rocket ride. The gravity that used to hold you down just don't exist no more. Take a rocket ride. Come on, grab a hold of my rocket.
Now, is that Elton John or is that Kiss? Because it sounds like Rocket Man.
Well, Elton John didn't write his own lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
Bernie Taupin.
Who is putting out his own album now.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it.
No.
Was he 98? I think Elton John's my parents' age. I have no interest in hearing what they have to say.
Bernie Taupin is only 76 years old.
Is it 8 years younger? 1950.
Yeah, he's got a new solo album.
Did he ever put out an album at all?
I don't know.
Did he write Total Eclipse of the Heart?
Finally, okay. Bernie Taupin has been writing for Elton John for 6 decades. He's finally releasing a new solo album. Lyricist also reveals that Gary Oldman is making a documentary about his life. Says he and Elton have no plans to sell their publishing.
Oof. Elton John, 79.
All right, so he's essentially my parents' age. 5 years when you get up there. All right, he did not write Total Eclipse of the Heart, so I will give him a pass. Total Eclipse of the Heart, as you know, is, I think, the worst hit song of the 80s.
That never ends.
No.
Never ends.
That meatloafy, operatic.
Oh, the women love Total Eclipse of the Heart. Oh, they can't get enough of it.
That's like one of those things that I don't feel like I have the same ears as people. I hated that song when I was a little kid. Yeah. I hated the video. I don't like her voice. I don't like anything about it. But I don't know why Meatloaf's famous. Like, I don't understand how anyone would listen to a Meatloaf song.
It was the handkerchief, the lace hanky.
I think it was his ability to fop sweat in any situation. He would get that Hulk Hogan-y sweaty hair where it would just become spaghetti strings.
I enjoyed him in both Fight Club and the Steve Martin, Deborah Winger vehicle, Leap of Faith. Where Meatloaf is the keyboardist in the traveling ministry show.
But you might not know it's him because he goes by his God-given name, Loaf.
Yeah.
Just Loaf. All right. We will be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox lost in
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what else is going on?
Well, Robert Kraft spoke yesterday as the Patriots training camp continues, and you can hear what he was asked and how he answered.
Christian Gonzalez, any thoughts on that as you enter camp?
We love Christian Gonzalez. We love him as a player, as a person. You know, that's why we've made an offer to him that makes him the highest paid player ever to play that position in the NFL. And coincidentally, it's the highest contract in the Patriots franchise history. So we're glad we drafted him and he's developed here, and we hope he'll be with us for a long time.
Kraft put the blue Bentley's window down while he was talking to the media, but he wouldn't turn down his car stereo.
Yeah, it works.
Well, does it work to say something like that to a group of reporters? Wow, they've made him an offer to make him the highest paid player at that position in league history and the highest paid Patriots player ever. Christian, what do you have to say?
Christian, Robert said the other day that he wanted to make you the highest paid player in franchise history and the highest quarterback in the NFL. Just your reaction to what we had to say.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows what Mr. Kraft has done. A ton of respect for Mr. Kraft and what he's done with this franchise, and it's just something we don't want to handle to the media. I keep that with the team and my team and go on about that.
But Christian, he also said that they drafted you and they developed you. Don't you feel a sense of obligation to just take that first offer that was presented to you, Christian? I like how Robert throws that in at the end. We're happy that we drafted him and developed him and made him the player that he is.
Yeah, they're not going to get the pay cuts that you got with Brady. Those days are over.
No, players aren't stupid. They see how high the salary cap is, and Christian Gonzalez also took a look at the contract Denzel Ward of Cleveland scored yesterday. 2 years, $62.2 million.
$52.3 million guaranteed.
Yeah, Ward has been the Pro Bowl the last 3 years. He's one of the best defensive backs in the league. Now, he's 5 years older, but he has a lot more experience, and he just got $30 million. It's a whole Witherspoon Gonzalez thing. Same agent. Burt Burr's been telling us this for 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see where all this lands. But I think Gonzalez would be a fool if he signed before Witherspoon did.
Well, how about this? What if a deal doesn't get done?
Christian, we've seen a handful of young quarterbacks play the fourth year of their rookie contract before getting a new one. Would you be willing to play this season without a new contract?
I'm focused on being here at training camp right now, taking it day by day and see where it goes.
No, I would not.
He's not focused on that right now. He's focused on, day by day, step by step.
Keeping things quiet. We actually had, I forget what writer it was. Either it was Andrew Callahan yesterday or Mark Daniels or maybe Chris Price. Were telling us he's like this. It makes him a little bit unusual. He keeps his inner circle very, very tight. Not a lot of rumors get out about him, and you saw it again yesterday. It's more mature than you hear a lot of athletes.
Sounds like someone who's going to keep his hands on his money, not having a large entourage and it seems like a smart young man.
Yep.
Keep that circle very tight. Hang on to that money. Don't be paying everyone's salaries, everyone's rent. That's how these guys all go broke. That's how MC Hammer went broke. He had this. It was all his entourage. He was paying like 30 people's salaries.
That's right. He took them all on tour to like walk around on stage with him.
Yes.
For no reason.
Right.
They're just walking around.
He was paying guys that didn't even know what they did.
Yeah.
You know, so giving them health insurance and stuff. Like, yeah, that's how you lose all your money.
Yeah. Gonzalez on the Witherspoon contract. Again, he's not saying much.
Christian, do you feel like you're competing with Devon Witherspoon for a top contract or anything like that?
I mean, Spoon's my guy. You know, we work out all the time together. I respect Spoon, an amazing player, but you know, I feel like it's kind of like what I said. You know, keep that between my team and the front office.
Yep. Very smart. I mean, this is one day of questions. He's not going to have to answer these questions again. Everyone knows he's not going to say anything. So the next time anyone will talk to him is when Witherspoon signs his contract, whenever that is.
Now, Witherspoon's in the same year as Gonzalez,
and they share the same agent.
No, I knew that.
Yeah,
but I was just making sure they're in the same year.
I believe that's what Bert told us. I have to double check that.
Yes, I know that Witherspoon and Gonzalez are hand in hand. Gonzalez is an odd-looking individual, though. He has a unique look. I'm not saying he looks bad. I'm just saying he has a unique look.
You have compared him to the one of the evildoers in the movie Cobra.
I have. I know Cobra that intimately.
Maybe I did. I believe when I did, you said yes. That's a good take.
Yeah. The only thing I remember from Cobra is with the
Night Slasher.
All right, let me see what he looks like.
That guy.
Oh yeah. He looks like the Night Slasher. That is true. The only thing I remember from Cobra is a slicing of the pizza with the scissors, and then
that's right.
When they're on the run, and him and Brigitte Nielsen just randomly go to this arts and crafts pop-up that's in the middle of a parking lot.
Yeah.
And he goes like, ooh. He like plays with that toy for a second.
Yeah.
He does the bobblehead move. Yeah, that's right.
He picks up a bobblehead and he goes, ooh. It's like, you know, like, it's lighten the mood. I got a sense of humor.
No, and then she walks out and said, Marion Cobretti.
Marion Cobretti.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I saw?
He had a match sticking out of his mouth.
Constantly.
Yeah.
It wouldn't match.
Well, I mean, he also ate pizza with scissors. I mean, you know, because he didn't want the full piece. You know, he was such a lazy
I was thinking
bum.
about that the other day, and the discussion we had on the air, the argument we had on the air, whether he cut off and ate the cheesy portion or whether he ate the crust.
Oh, I don't remember. That's a good
I think he
question.
just cut the piece of pizza in half.
See, that's what I thought.
No?
He cut the crust off.
He did?
And
I
then
don't
just
remember that.
ate the cheesy portion.
Oh, all right. Well, that at least makes more
But
sense.
it was cold in the box coming out of the fridge.
No, I know that. I mean, that just showed like what a renegade bachelor he was.
Or maybe it was just sitting on the table.
So First Blood is not a bad movie, but I saw the beginning of it. It starts on an odd premise that the sheriff just wants him out of town.
Yeah, he stops him walking over a bridge. Brian Dennehy, right? Just kind of rolls up to him and says, "Hey, you know, once we have one drifter in town, there are more of them." You know?
It's just like drifters.
Yeah,
like get out of here, drifter. You're drifting all around this town.
Okay, pizza box was in the fridge. He is cutting off. Yep, just. So he makes essentially another triangular piece. It's so tiny. It's like this. It's like the size of a piece of pizza you would get at a 4-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah, he like cuts the tip off
one
the
of those
pizza.
Elio square things.
Yeah, but it's a triangle. But it's like
he cuts the tip off the pizza. Like he basically cuts the pizza in half, but not lengthwise, widthwise. And he takes the bottom triangle. I don't know what the point of that is. I don't know why you would go through the rigmarole of cutting it with scissors when you could just take a bite of the pizza and then throw the pizza aside. He doesn't seem overly interested in the pizza either. He takes a couple bites, but he's putting together his gat. He puts his gun disassembled in a egg grate.
Yeah. He keeps his gun cleaning tools in the egg carton.
Yeah. Well, I keep the cold pizza. Look at this bobblehead. Look at me. I can cut up. That was improv.
He's got a nice beachside condo.
Yeah, I called into question the beachside condo and also the
car.
Yeah, in the middle of the day, like 5 gang guys like screwing with his car in the middle of the day on like a weekday afternoon, right next to the beach. That just doesn't seem like that's what gang members are going to be doing in the area of town they're going to be doing it in.
Here's a question for
Maybe
you.
it's when Venice Beach wasn't that nice.
Vanity license plate on that car. What was it, Hardy?
Oh, I don't know.
Awesome 50.
Oh, excellent. Yes, because it was, as I see here, the 1950 Mercury Monterey Chop Top Coupe. Heavily modified.
Let's drive me a Mercury. Bubble, bubble.
Bobble, bobble, bobble.
Bobble, bobble, bobble.
Yep.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. We have some hard-hitting questions for Hardy on the way.
Toucher and Hardy. 5 the Sport. 65 years of broadcasting. Sports Hub headline.
Red Sox lead on Cleveland is now a game and a half for the second wild card in the American League after a loss in Sacramento late last night, 4-3 to the Athletics. Connor Wong hit a 2-run homer in the ninth. Jake Bennett allowed 3 runs in 6 1/3 innings of work to take the loss. Patrick Sandoval starts tonight as this 4-game series continues. The Sox will visit the LA Dodgers, by the way, this weekend. As for newly acquired infielder Curtis Mead, he was placed on the injured list yesterday. He is out indefinitely, and that's because another X-ray on his sore wrist revealed a fracture.
Definitely mentally challenging. Came here to kind of play and be with the group down the stretch. So yeah, it's definitely disappointing, but I'm hopeful that I can be back soon.
He took the red eye back to Boston late last night to see a specialist. Patriots went through another training camp practice yesterday in Foxborough. Wide receiver Kayshon Boutte continues to shine with another long TD catch. Also, Christian Gonzalez wouldn't tell the media anything about his contract extension negotiations with the team. Players have today off. They put the pads on for the first time tomorrow. Gonzalez also took short notice of something that happened yesterday. Denzel Ward, now the top paid cornerback in the league. He signed a 2-year, $32.2 million contract extension with Cleveland. And an NBA News Golden State has re-signed Draymond Green to a 1-year, $27.7 million contract. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Right now, during their Beat the Summer promotion, Sports Hub listeners get 10% off the cost of a new roof. Call East Coast Metal Roofing and never replace your roof again. 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Drake May. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
I know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. We've learned that Hardy is what they say in the Bologna area of Italy, Umarell, or Umarell. However you pronounce it, it translates literally to little man.
No.
But it's
can't be right.
But it's how they refer to people in Italy. Someone who stands with their hands clasped tightly behind their back, closely monitoring road work or building sites, and offering unwanted advice to workers. It's a lighthearted and affectionate term, and it's been added to the Zingarelli Italian dictionary.
Oh, okay. So it's official.
So the ways of your people, the Umarell, have finally been put down into work. Hardy loves cosplaying as a blue-collar worker, as a tradesman. He loves watching people do projects. He keeps his eyes on his neighbors' homes He sees if they've been leaving tools or ladders out. He follows the how projects are going, the timelines of them. If they're taking too long, he feeds his neighbors chickens when they're out of town.
Our neighbors across the street, they were gone for a time, and as a gift, as a birthday gift to one of those neighbors, Marcy bought them decals for their new mailbox, which they got at my urging. I'm like, time to upgrade that mailbox, people.
Property values, right?
Bad look, which they did, but then it's just a blank mailbox. So Marcy ordered, their address in the same font as ours. And since they were on vacation, I went ahead and put it on there for them.
So, wow, now your wife's participating in this as well. You guys are both up in being busybodies. The two of you have found a hobby to do together as you age and become empty nesters.
I took a picture of it, sent it to them while they were on vacation. I'm like, you got that to look forward to when you come home. Pull into your driveway and see that.
Now, was that two separate adhesives, or was that just one that you cut?
It's one, and you can see that on both sides of the mailbox there. But it is one big applique, and then you have to, tape it at the top. You have to smooth it, and you have to, peel back the other thing, and it's a process.
Did you
clean the mailbox first?
Did you use a level, like one of those things with the bubble in it?
Excellent question, and the answer is no.
You eyeballed it.
I did not eyeball it either. What I did was I used a straight edge to make sure it was just level with the mailbox. I didn't want it to be level to the ground because who's to say the mailbox is level? So I just wanted it to be in line with the actual structure of the mailbox.
What would you use for the straight line?
It was a long file, and I had a couple of different tools. I went through the tool chest there, and I found something that was going to be, big enough just above the rivets of the mailbox, but it gave me enough space there to where I knew the bottom line of the address was going to lay, and it ended up working out great.
Did Marcy?
Sometimes these things just fall into your hands. I'm like, who knew? Who knew this file was going to be the right size?
Did Marcy stand in the street and nod approvingly?
She was one house down, talking with the new neighbors who have a baby and a dog. The dog's name is MacGyver. We call him MacGruber.
You have fun that way.
We do. But they were kind of monitoring me as I was doing this project.
When you sent that picture to the neighbors, what was the text back you got? And when they got home, were they happy, or was it just, oh, that's Rob?
They're still not home. This is a relatively recent thing. I don't know that she texted back.
No.
Oh, no.
No, you way
No. I take it all back. I sent the photos to Marcy so that Marcy could send it to the woman because it was her idea to do this. I'm just a worker bee, know.
Sure.
So I let her take all the credit and glory for that.
You got a fun dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Now that you see your behavior through your wife's eyes, because your wife is now behaving like you, does it change your opinion, or is this growing your bond even stronger?
We both know what we've got.
Because she's now adapting. She used to shake her head at your behavior, but now she's becoming just like you.
Every once in a while, the two paths meet, where something that I'm obsessed with and working on will actually be of interest to her, and this is one of those times. But she's able to let it go and just kind of move on to something else. Just reading her book or doing her job or something. I'm like, no,
knitting.
These are the important things.
Knitting and cooking.
Yeah, right.
Right. All right. Well, it's time to play our favorite game.
Is Hardy gonna linger? Is Hardy gonna linger?
All right, this is where we ask Hardy if this is something that he would stand around with his hands clasped behind his back and look at and offered unasked for advice. I thought of one while you were talking.
Oh, okay, good.
I have one written down, but I'm not going to use that one unless I need to. Here is something that someone is collecting wood. Chopping is too obvious. If they were chopping wood, I might even watch someone chop wood for a while. That's a real lumberjack style. But if someone was like moving. I don't know how to describe it correctly, but if they were moving wood around that could be repurposed, like do you
like pallets in a Home Depot parking lot?
Because I'm thinking about how didn't you take a piece of like wood and make a shelf in your living room? Yeah. So you repurposed the wood, or was it?
Repurposed is a kind way of saying that there was a new build going on across the street, and I may have gone over there and sifted through some of the. Was it scrap, or was it just?
Well, I think I have my
pine?
answer. So you will go through a scrap pile of wood.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but how close an eye do you keep on it? Do you if someone's it's too elaborate at that point? Like, so you do keep your eye on wood?
Oh,
yeah, like a pile of wood, like across the street.
Yes.
Now, how do you know if it's going to be used or not?
Well, oftentimes there'll be a construction dumpster.
And you'll just climb in the dumpster.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all clean stuff. It's just construction material.
Right,
but not like any asbestos in there.
Do you hoist yourself over the top of the dumpster?
When I did that project at the old house, when I made the faux weathered mantle, right? Marcy wanted a mantle that looked like reclaimed barnwood.
Mm-hmm. And it's Goyish stuff. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, you can go buy like old reclaimed lumber. There's a lumber yard in Harvard. Or near Harvard in Cambridge that sells like a block of wood, but they're like $300. It's like, here's a beam from an Amish farmhouse. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I went online and found out how to make one that looks like distressed wood. And for that, I went to the dumpster that was across the street where we were living at the time, and I brought a ladder with me because it was a high dumpster. So I just kind of leaned the ladder up against it to get up there.
And then you jumped down into the dumpster?
I didn't have to. It was sticking up far enough to where I didn't have to go in.
Okay, and you just sifted from the ladder.
Yeah.
How many pieces of wood did you take?
I took a couple before. If memory serves, none were really to my liking, and I took one that was actually on the ground closer to the actual build that was going on. Which,
you got to be willing to improvise.
Well,
you got to be willing to accept that you're not going to use something from the dumpster.
Or steal, as the case may be. But I knew the builders. We were friends.
Of course you did.
I came clean. I told them what I did. The Lydens.
That's the real part of the story.
I got Liam
Knew the builders.
I got Liam on the phone later that day. I said, look, buddy, I just need to come clean on something. There was, a piece of pine over there that I needed for a project.
Now, did you get his number through, lingering by the construction site?
They were actually the builders of our condo in Rossi when we first moved here. And we have remained close friends with them.
Right. Because you were on top of them during the build?
We were kind of on top of each other. They were still building in the neighborhood, and I don't know that everyone in the neighborhood has remained. No, I know for a fact that no one else in the neighborhood has remained that close, but they're good people. They kind of adopted us here in Boston.
So they had built your house and you moved into it when it was already built?
Yeah.
So you got to know him through his other construction projects in the neighborhood?
Yes.
So that was through your Umarelli. Or Umarel. That was through your standing around that you got to know him.
These people are the salt of the earth.
I didn't say anything that was wrong with the people. I'm saying something's wrong with you.
I think that's the focus of this entire exercise.
Everyone that we're talking about is innocent outside of this besides you.
No,
but you got his number through hanging out by the construction sites.
I don't know. Maybe I just followed him home one day. They lived close by. They were in JP.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you, your wives were friends or something like that, or did you meet him through hanging out at the construction site and, asking him what's going on?
Yeah, you see them around the neighborhood. They're outside working on stuff, and I would come outside and, we'd talk.
Okay, so how are you interested in this? How do you strike up a conversation?
I am interested
with
in this.
someone who's working on something that you're not involved in.
I'm incapable of this, so I really would like to know how this works.
Hardy's the best at making friends.
He really is.
Let me tell you something about the Lydens, whether it's Liam or Matthias or Joe, any of them.
Oh, wow, Joe left.
Sean.
Joe got screwed. You got Matthias and Liam, and then there's just Joe.
Joe, he must be third.
They ran out of names.
He must be the youngest.
Cullum. Actually, we had one of the nephews, one of Liam and Matthias's nephews, as an intern on the Zolak and Bertrand show. Completely unconnected to
Yeah, no
anything.
favors.
There were no favors.
No favors.
He just showed up here one day and he told me who his uncle was, and I said, "Oh boy, you and I have stuff to talk about."
All right, but so you go up to the construction site and you start, and how do you kick off the conversation?
Good morning. How's that for a conversation starter?
Morning. Okay, let's role play this. Okay, you say good morning to me.
Hey, Liam. Good morning.
Well, you don't know his name yet. So yeah.
Well, maybe
so
he
we're
did.
Meeting.
Maybe he did his homework and knew ahead of time what his name was to give himself an in.
No, I'll play your scenario.
Please do.
Okay, here we go. Morning, looking good. You guys made some real progress yesterday, huh?
Morning.
Yeah, I was watching the guy on the skid steer over there. He was your MVP of this project so far. That guy was really moving some material, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that's the end of it.
Friendship has begun.
So wait, you get shut down like this. A normal tradesman is really into his work. He wants to finish. He doesn't have time for chit chat. So if in that scenario, what do you do?
Occasionally that happens, like the guy who came to replace my daughter's windshield, who just gave me a can of glass cleaner to get me to go away.
Right.
So okay, I didn't make a friend out of that, but I got a good can of glass cleaner.
How did he? All right. So we'll never know how he makes the friend. But so you were screwing with the guy that was replacing your daughter's windshield.
I was watching him.
And so how did he get you to scram? How did he just handed you something and said, "Here, go"?
I said, "Wow, that's some really good stuff you're using on that. That thing was sparkling. I can barely look at it. It's so shiny." He's like, "Yeah, it's good stuff. Here, take this, but put it in your garage because it shouldn't sit out in the sun."
That's right. Walk over there.
Yeah.
Now, did you put it in the garage and walk back out?
You should have. Just to teach that guy a lesson.
Well, he's cleaning the new windshield at that point, so he was just about done.
Oh.
Okay.
You can get out there fast enough.
Oh, by the way, I have an acquaintance of mine who is back in town for a couple weeks. This is just a quick aside, and you know what he does? He's a tour guide in Puerto Rico.
Oh!
Wow.
His name's Sway. He's a tour guy in Puerto Rico now, and I saw him like last week, and I was telling him, and I was praying that he went by another name when he was, but it wasn't him because I've seen the picture of the
Sway,
guy.
are you AKA Daniel Delgado?
No, but if you recall, Hardy has Daniel Delgado's number. We should text him.
We're thinking about going back for this next winter break.
Yeah, and just text him and just go, "Thinking of you."
Yeah, because as we have all decided, we will be here next spring break.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will be here next spring break. I'm going to leave. Maybe I'll go to Puerto Rico for that break, too. There's only so many places that are warm.
All right, there we go.
Maybe I'll take Daniel before you can. All right. So the guy handed you the glass cleaner, and he was like, "Go scram."
Pretty much.
Okay. Very good. All right. So, that guy. Bit of a one-trick pony, that guy.
Yeah.
All right. We have time for one more. It's a free-for-all. Any of you that have one for Hardy.
Yard work is like an all-encompassing thing, but I'm wondering if you happen to be walking your dog by a ball field and a member of the DPW is mowing patterns into the outfield of a ball field, would you stop and linger and watch and maybe say, "Oh, I don't know how you do that. Maybe that pattern isn't correct."
Well,
Maybe
you can't talk to someone on a tractor, right?
Yeah, I want to say that was a good question, John, and I would be interested in what he was doing, but no, I would not stop and talk to a man on a zero-turn mower while he's trying to cut grass.
My father, on the other hand, one time when we were on vacation in some dump, went the wrong way down a one-way road because he was so interested in what was going on the baseball field.
Huh.
Yeah, there was
About
something.
that?
There was something going on, and he just started going the wrong way down a one-way street because he was like, "Woo!" I told you my son was pitching that night at like 10:30, like a couple weeks ago, and I just heard, "Okay, Milo," just because like the camera was on the backstop, the place that was filming it. And it was my dad. He wasn't being annoying or obnoxious, but it was just funny because he's just in heaven. Oh boy, does he love baseball. Okay, Milo. All right. Okay, here we go. And when we were in Alabama, and he was like just talking a lot, it was good because like means he's like healthy and kind of with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And my mom, who's not usually like this, was like, "Jesus, Fred, just shut up." She's like, "You're too happy." She's basically like, "You're too happy." Like you're just talking. Like he was nonstop, but it didn't bother me because that's like an appropriate place for it, and like he was really enjoying himself. So very rare. I mean, real rare. But he was in a very happy place. So you and my father have a little bit in common, just different things.
Hell yeah.
Losing themselves in the activity. All right, well, look, we learned a lot about Hardy today. We didn't even have time to get to a lot of them. We had to role play. I still don't quite know how he or him or the other Umarell make friends with the people, because we went through the exercise of talking. And I still don't know where the friendship is made because, again...
Maybe he just goes back and beats them in a submission. Maybe that's what it is. He just keeps showing up.
Sometimes you do him a favor. Sometimes it's landscaper Frank Walsh, and he left the light on one of the pieces of equipment that was left out there, and I happen to have his number. I'm like, hey, I don't know, the battery's going to die on that thing. Maybe I'll go out there and turn that thing off for you.
That's the famous Bobcat story where Hardy
That's right.
was able to turn off the light on the Bobcat all on his own.
Yeah.
He was able to get into the Bobcat and start screwing around and playing around and, having the key. Because it's not a conventional key.
I didn't have the key at that time. I'm pretty sure I have it now after Nick's thoughtful Christmas present. A big bag of keys that are unlabeled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to try 100 of them.
Sure.
Just might as well just burn money in front of you. All right.
I liked it, Nick.
No, you didn't. All right. So we will be back in just a moment. John Corrales covers the NBA, and he has a idea that he's come up with for a Hall of Famer coming to the Boston Celtics. One of the true great current players coming to the Boston Celtics. So when synonymous with their organization coming to the Boston Celtics, we will talk to him and get what he's thinking in just a moment. About an idea for the Celtics this offseason as they move on from Jaylen Brown. John Corrales, hello, sir.
Hello. How are you?
Fantastic, and we were all fascinated by your article, so just give us your thoughts. I don't want to put any words in your mouth. You go. You tell us.
What is this, the Steph Curry article?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
It is the Steph Curry
exactly
article.
Right.
So basically, scanning the league for situations where you're like, oh, okay, here's a guy that could help the Celtics, and the Celtics have the assets, Paul George salary, plus whatever other players you need, plus those picks. And you see, hey, maybe Steph Curry and the Warriors aren't quite as aligned as they used to be, and maybe the Warriors are starting to look at their next iteration, and the CBA pretty much demands that your emotional attachments and this romantic idea of guys finishing their careers with one team, you throw that in the garbage. You say, okay, well, if the Warriors really want to hit a reset button, and I know they just re-signed Draymond Green, so it kind of flies in the face of what I'm talking about here, but if they wanted to move on, the Celtics have two potentially premium draft picks, the salary to match, a player. I'm saying Sam Hauser. I know other people have mentioned Peyton Pritchard. I don't think you need to go that deep, but if you can, if the Warriors are interested in hitting a reset button, getting a couple of premium picks, and starting to move into the next phase, giving up Paul George and a couple of things for Steph Curry and getting Curry in here wouldn't be the worst idea in the world.
Okay. All right. So how do you accomplish that, in your opinion?
It's Paul George, Sam Hauser, at least one or probably both of those picks that you get from the Paul George, Jaylen Brown trade. So essentially the Clippers pick in 2028 and a 2031 unprotected Sixers pick, which, in 4 seasons, the Sixers are going to be, Embiid's gone, Jaylen Brown's probably gone, LeBron's gone. Who knows what they're going to be? That's probably going to be a really good pick. So you get Paul George and Sam Hauser because the salaries match, and it allows you to get Curry in here without changing your tax situation, so your financial situation stays the same. The picks entice the Warriors to hit that reset button and start moving into their next iteration. I think that is probably the best way to go.
Okay, so if you owned Golden State,
thank you.
Would you, regardless of the future of the organization, would you move on from Steph Curry? Like, can you do that?
Listen, I wouldn't want to, and I totally understand not wanting to, but this current financial system, this current CBA is massively destructive, and it strips away all of those factors, those things that I think people are hanging on to, right? This notion of, hey, you can't move on from Steph Curry. He is the Warriors. That's not how it works anymore. I mean, you can do it, but you're missing out on an opportunity here to move your franchise forward. And if you want to spin it in a Golden State forward fashion, how is Steph Curry going to help the team win sooner? Is he going to do it on the court? No, they don't have the team anymore. They've been star chasing and they haven't been coming through with anything. Jimmy Butler didn't pan out. He's hurt, all of that stuff. The best way for Steph Curry to help the team now is to be traded and bring in picks. And I'm not even saying that Celtics offer is the way to go. I'm just saying that's what the Celtics can do. If there's a bidding war, I don't know if the Celtics can win it, but I would, if I'm the Warriors, you have to consider it, because the next generation of Warriors, the next thing has to happen. And if you got that building sitting there, you got to fill it up. You own that building. It prints money for you. Move forward. That's what this system is. So take the opportunity while it's there.
Did the Celtics not trade Paul Pierce at a similar age and start things over?
Listen,
I give you some backup here, John Corrales.
I'm with you. I'm kind of channeling Danny Ainge in a way. Danny Ainge is the one like, yep, once you hit a certain age, let's go. Let's move them. I understand, like I said before, the romantic idea. And the same thing is going to happen with Jason Tatum. Everybody who loves Jason Tatum has got to wrap their heads around the idea that in a few years, it's not that far off. In a few years, when he's 31, 32, the Celtics have to have that conversation of, when do you move him while he has the value to return what you need to get started on the next iteration? And I know fans hate to hear it, but players have come and gone. You just mentioned Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce came and went. Kevin Garnett came and went. Larry Bird. You keep going back and back and back.
Well, that's not a good excuse. That's not a good example.
And John, that's the one thing I would say. I'm glad you brought that up, because the Celtics had their identity outside of Paul Pierce and you maybe not Larry. Yeah, even Larry Bird for that part.
Well, they hung on to Bird, Parrish, and McHale for far too long, and they were done for about 5 years after that.
They did, and maybe that was a mistake. But for Golden State, I don't know what identity you can point to and say there is a player or something other than Steph Curry that is more closely associated or exemplifies like a brand and a team than Steph Curry and Golden State. And what that would do to the fan base, what that would do just to your image and your entire brand of the Golden State Warriors, to make the decision to trade him. I don't know how you come back from that. I don't know how you convince the fan base, yeah, this is terrible, but it needs to be done.
Yeah, but listen, this is also a fan base that was upset that Monte Ellis got traded way back when, and that opened up the door for the Steph Curry era. I understand exactly what you're saying, and you're right, except fans move on quickly. You get that next version, they'll be upset, but fans aren't moving, right? Like, Steph Curry's career is going to end soon. Everybody's career ends at a certain point, even LeBron's eventually, but guys don't generally play past where Curry is. But everybody who lives in the Bay, they're still going to be there, and they're going to be mad about a rebuild, but you get that next player. Curry didn't come in as a savior. He was a kid from Davidson, like he wasn't, and when he first started playing, he got hurt a lot. He had the ankle issues. All of a sudden, he became Steph Curry, and they put the right team around him. They got Klay Thompson. They got Draymond Green. Those players meshed in a way around Steve Kerr that was very, very special. And then you had your run. Okay, that's all great. Those are the memories that you should hang on to. Now you got to go find the next thing. Whatever that identity is, it doesn't exist right now, but you got to go find it. That's what these generations are. Each generation has its own identity, and now you got to go find that next identity. So if the Warriors want to do that quickly, you got to start cashing in on the assets that you have now that are worth something still. And it sucks. It sucks to say all that stuff, but that's how front offices should be thinking. And the emotional attachments, again, I know I sound like Danny Ainge. I hear myself speaking. Those emotional attachments are what we're going to set you back a year or two or three. And you don't think about it, but when the team is in that mess, think of the mess that the Celtics were in. That Patino era, even the post Big Three era, the post new Big Three era. If you're not doing these things the right way, you put yourself into this kind of mess that it's hard to climb out of. You got to try to minimize that.
But even as you said that, they re-signed Draymond Green, they brought back Horford, they brought back Porzingis, Jimmy Butler's still there. I mean, they're going to run it back. They're the only team in the NBA that didn't sign a free agent. So it sounds to me like they're going to run it back again next year and the year after that.
And listen, they're going to ask their fans to go through a level of pain. And I'm not even saying that this is a horrible decision necessarily. If the fans are sitting there saying, we understand, we want every bit of Steph Curry until he decides that golf is more important to him than basketball, then fine. But you have to understand the other part of that deal, right? If the fan base is united in absolutely do not trade Steph Curry, then in 2 seasons, when Steph is like, okay, I'm done, and everyone else just goes away, you have to understand that the rebuild is going to take an extra 2-3 years, and you just got to be willing to go through that. So it's a matter of, are you willing to do that as a fan base? Then fine. But as a franchise, we're talking about money. We're talking about championships. We're talking about accelerating that process so fans can turn around. Whenever you have a good team, fans buy in. They just want to cheer for a winner. They'll forget that you traded Steph Curry if you put a winning team out there sooner than you would have otherwise.
All right, John, one other thing, your latest article about Jason Tatum this morning and how this coming season might be his best chance to win the MVP.
Yeah, I just think that the formula is there for him right now. Obviously, without Jalen, he's the only guy. That's a big part of the formula for an MVP. You're going to be the singular superstar on a team. So you have that. I think the stats will be there with a little bit of additional usage. I think some of the guys on the team, like Derek White especially, play better with Tatum than they did with Brown. And I think one big thing is Jaylen Brown went through the first few months of last season kind of with an uncertain roster. I think in that last season, in that run, they solidify, like, what Baylor Shireman is, what Ugo Gonzalez is. Nemish Keita became who he is. You've added a couple of pieces. I think you go into this season with a little bit more certainty and understanding who these players are. And now you throw Tatum in there, who, no shade against Jaylen Brown, who's an amazing player. Tatum is a better player. You now have, I think, a little bit more definition of what this team is. Tatum can go in there. I think the extra time off, as much as it sucked losing to Philadelphia, that benefited Tatum, and he'll go in there as 100% of what just a normal Jason Tatum. I think all of the factors are there that if he is going to win an MVP, and I'm not saying he will, but if he is, this is going to be the season where all of those things come together. He has a chance to put a 30-point, 10-rebound kind of season together on a team that if they are the second or third seed again, then that will give him a lot of consideration.
Okay, well, they just, Golden State just re-signed Draymond Green, and apparently he's playing for a new contract. He 5 assists, 5 points, and like 5 rebounds last year. Not great.
$27.7 million for next season.
Yeah, not great. But it seems like Golden State's still operating at a kind of archaic model, but they seem very unwilling to give up.
They're pushing the rebuild back another year or two.
But John Corrales has got big ideas, and wouldn't that be something if Steph Curry would make up for the Red Sox not getting Mike Trout? We could finally get a Hall of Famer.
Not over yet. You still got a week.
Never know. He don't want to leave. All right. Well, John Corrales, it certainly was a very interesting article. We can only hope. Thank you so much for the time, sir.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate it. There's John Corrales. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Red Sox lost to the Athletics out in Sacramento late last night, 4-3. Connor.
We are Toucher and Hardy. I see Romero and I see Melissa, and they have no problem sleeping. Like they both are like, yeah. The minute I shut my eyes, I'm completely asleep.
Didn't LBF extol the virtues of magnesium at one point?
She did it again today. She's like, take magnesium. But I didn't have the patience today.
Okay, because I remember you had a lot of energy the last time she brought that up.
I did. No, I just was more biting this time. I was like, I'm like, if it knocked you out, people, they wouldn't be able to keep it on the shelves. It would be regulated. There's some drug that people are getting addicted to now. Some athlete was pulled over with a bunch of it in his car that it's like some supplement that someone's figured out. Someone will call in or email. They'll know what it is. It's some supplement that is supposed to be somewhat akin to an opiate. And people have started to Crim or something like that. Cram? I don't even know. But my point is this, is that people will comb through GNCs and find anything they possibly can and if it has any kind of effect in any amount of quantity, it could be you have to eat 10 pounds of it. People will end up taking it if it gets them effed up.
So this is from Memphis Grizzlies player Brandon Clark, pulled over and arrested in Arkansas in April of 2026 for speeding over 100 miles per hour and possessing 235 grams of kratom.
Yeah, okay, so that's what it is.
Kratom, a plant-derived supplement. While legal in many states, it's classified as a Schedule I controlled substance in Arkansas.
So I have a friend who went to rehab, and it was for some supplement, and I stopped paying attention, but apparently it's this. So it's like this addictive thing, but it was legal. It's legal still in a lot of states. It's like, someone figured out that something does something, some plant, or I don't know what the hell it is. It doesn't really matter. And they, put it in capsules, and then people figure out that it gets you effed up. And the next thing you know, it's illegal in Arkansas, and you got a bunch of it, and you're going to jail. If magnesium knocked you out, you'd be going to jail if you had enough of it. Like, they would not be able to keep it in stock. People figure these things out.
But getting back to
think of all the stuff real quick that was, you used to be able to buy White Crosses at gas stations.
Right.
They sold amphetamine. Rip Fuel is an amphetamine that was in college people would take. That's all illegal now. Anything. People shove anything in their face.
How do they sleep well? That's the thing that I'm wondering. How do they have no trouble whatsoever?
Not
sleeping?
a worry in the world, apparently.
Well, Romero.
How is that possible?
Romero gets up at 2:30 in the morning, and he's real muscular, so he like gets up and like does like crazy ass workouts.
But he also goes to sleep at like 7:30.
Yeah, because he said you have to stay up to watch games, and I'm like, yeah, not really. Like, I mean, like,
No, you got to watch every baseball game.
yeah, every baseball game, Freddie. That's Dr. Tangway, Esquire, talking to you about how to do sports talk radio.
Right.
But like, no, I didn't watch any of the Red Sox game last night. Like, I not under my responsibility to watch 162 baseball games or 82 basketball. Now, John does, but 82 basketball or hockey games, you have to watch every Patriot game.
Yes.
But other than and every playoff game, but other than that, you don't have to watch everything. So I can't even make that excuse.
We got 2 more NHL games this season.
Oh, good. That's right.
84.
That had escaped my attention, and it was our friend Billy Jaffe who told me that yesterday. I'm like, oh, how did I not know this? He said, because you don't care. I said, well, Billy, if you really want to get into it, you're right. I don't care about all 82 games in a regular season of hockey or basketball, and you're right. I will now care even less about each one by a small fraction because now there are 84 of them.
And the fact that you're offended by it makes me want to watch less.
Well, did you tell him, like, Billy, yeah, I care just like you didn't care about your kid's amateur hockey career, and then you say at 5 a.m. he's taking boxing lessons.
I did not.
That's right. Not driving to, but remember he called us from some parking lot in Quebec?
Yes.
At one of his kids' tournaments?
Well, I think he gets paid to coach those teams.
Oh, okay.
Like, because he's a former Big Ten standout. So I think he gets paid for those. But it was funny because, he was like, yeah, I think his kid's good at hockey. And he's like, like, whatever. He can do whatever he wants to do. And then you talk to him and you'd be like, he'd come into the studio and you're like, where were you? And he's like, I was at the boxing gym with my son. And you're like, well, it's 7 o'clock, like before school, like on a Tuesday.
Kid's hitting the heavy bag before he puts the backpack on.
Sounds like things are going pretty seriously
Yeah.
here. Like it seems like things are fairly serious, but that's like a big thing with kids that are playing competitive sports is that all the parents pretend that they're not interested in any of it. Well, meanwhile, you're shelling out tens of thousands of dollars and spending days of your life traveling around. I think it would have been healthier if everyone just admitted that they were a little invested in it. Just a little bit. Some more than others, but nonetheless, everyone's fairly invested. It's safe to say now.
Yeah.
It's now that the process is sort of over, hopefully it's safe to say that, yes, everyone was pretty invested. All right. But yes, they can sleep. They apparently, and it's a little obnoxious. Melissa was like, I just close my eyes, I go to sleep. I've always been like that. And I wake up before my alarm goes off. I'm like, I woke up before my alarm went off today. 2 hours before my alarm went off today. I was up.
I'm insanely jealous.
And then I tried to look at pornography, and that's just sad. So, there was, that's just, you get out the tablet at that time. It's more depressing than anything else.
Yeah, waking up 5 minutes before your alarm goes off, refreshed and ready to start the day is different than 2 hours ahead of time. Like, oh, God, now what do I do?
Yeah, and then there's that whole thing, like, I don't want to go to work. Like, at that point, like, I don't want to go. I shouldn't have to go. This is too little sleep. But here we are. All right, when we come back, we have a very exciting news segment. It's been a very long time since we've done that. We will have news for you in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Celebrate Italian heritage, family food, and faith at the St. Agrippina Feast in Boston's North End, Thursday, July 30th through Sunday, August 2nd. Come witness the grand procession of St. Agrippina.
Late last night, Jake Bennett allowed 3 runs for the Sox while pitching into the 7th inning, but took the loss.
I felt good. I felt like I was still executing pitches for the most part. I would have liked to execute a couple more breaking balls, but it was just a good piece of hitting at the end.
Connor Wong's 2-run homer in the top of the 9th made things look a little better for the Sox. They have split the first 2 games of this 7-game road trip. Patrick Sandoval starts late tonight against the Athletics. As for Curtis Mead, he was placed on the injured list yesterday. He's out indefinitely. Another x-ray in his sore wrist revealed a fracture. Patriots went through another training camp practice yesterday in Foxborough. Wideout Kayshon Boutte continues to impress. He had another long TD catch yesterday. Carlton Davis left before the workout was over. Also, Christian Gonzalez would not tell the media anything about his contract extension negotiations with the team. Players have today off. The pads come on tomorrow. And In other NFL news, Denzel Ward is now the top-paid cornerback in the league. He signed a 2-year, $32.2 million contract extension with Cleveland. Jalen Carter is now the top-paid defensive lineman ever. He signed a 4-year, $152 million extension with Philadelphia. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99 Restaurants. Head to the Nines Thursday to play trivia for a chance to win 99 gift cards and other great prizes. You gotta love the Nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Diving, and he's got a breakaway. To the backhand. Throws it in front, coming to the spot.
The Sports Hub. When it comes to the show, Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
We interrupt this program for breaking news.
I can't use it.
Newsflash.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. John Corrales from SI was with us earlier, and I was on SI.com, and Burt Beer's got a video that says you can fry. It's so hot in Phoenix, you can fry an egg on the sidewalk. And then so I click on it, and he just says it's hot enough to fry an egg on the sidewalk. He doesn't actually crack an egg on the sidewalk.
Well, then that doesn't really pay off, does it?
No, I thought it was. I was a little irritated by it, to be honest with you. I thought that he was going to literally crack an egg and fry it on the sidewalk, which would have been an illustration of how hot it was.
Yeah.
But instead, he's just walking and saying how hot it is.
Yeah.
He's like, boy, it's really hot here. It's maybe as hot as it is in Vegas. These are the two hottest training camps, but they're inside. You know, like,
so what?
Yeah,
it doesn't
so
matter.
From your car
how that
into the
much.
facility, it was hot.
Yeah.
I mean, great. It was hot. A hot day outside. Like, I don't know what that has to do with anything. And then, because then I thought, oh, they're practicing outside. That's crazy. I wonder how they do that. And it's like, no, it's air conditioned.
Yeah, but inside the bubble, it's actually a kind of a brisk 68.
Yeah, just didn't make a lot of sense. You just think, well, this is again why people shouldn't be living here. This is again why Phoenix and the surrounding environs are not for humans to live. It's a little disturbing.
Which I don't disagree with, but it is your insistence that it has something to do with the bees.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You had some bee take on in the desert. There's like no bees there. And I said, of course there are.
Well, it didn't come out of thin air. Bees were obviously a topic of the desert, and I said there can't be bees there because there's no natural wildlife. And then it turned out there were bees.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was quite a delightful thing. But I just know when we went into Scottsdale.
Put the egg on your face and then fry it on the sidewalk.
Kaboom. When we went into Scottsdale and then there would just be like all this grass all of a sudden. You were in the middle of the desert and there's all this grass. You're like, this cannot be good. So like anytime they're like, we're water poor. And then you're just like, okay, we'll move.
Yeah.
Don't be in the desert. You shouldn't have this much grass in the desert.
Somehow they have a big golf tournament there in the middle of the desert.
Yeah,
in Scottsdale.
Right. There shouldn't be a golf course there that's on grass.
Yeah.
It should. If you play golf, it should be tin cup style on the dirt. It just is really strange to me. Now Tucson is almost got a natural vibe to it because Tucson's got those mountains and everything. Like Tucson's quite nice. Phoenix does not have any of these. Phoenix is just a big city in the middle of the desert. And it's not even Vegas where they did it so there could be whoring and a gambling. Like Vegas, like
yeah, I don't know why they did Phoenix.
Yeah.
Hey, Phoenix, why'd you do that?
Right, like Vegas, they were just like, this is as close to LA as we can get and be like above the law.
Well,
like,
it's a stopover for GIs on their way to the West Coast. And that city was called Las Vegas.
Right, and so they were like, we can, they don't care what we do here. We can organize crime the hell out of this thing and no one's going to bat an eye. And so Vegas is a little bit of an outlaw. It makes sense. Like, we wanted to get above the law, so we went to the most random place we could find and built a city there. Okay, very good. Atlanta's a city because that's when the railroad ended. Okay. And at least Atlanta's like, there's grass and rain. The desert, you just shouldn't be living there. There should be a part of the country that no one lives in, and that is, or unless you want to live like off the grid. If you want to live like in a bit of dystopian wasteland, like the Mel Gibson movie,
Mad Max,
then that's, I don't think in Australia, in that place where Mad Max is filmed, they go, let's pop a major city in there.
Well, Phoenix became a city, Fred, because early settlers reused ancient irrigation canals to build a farming town.
Right. So they could have just gone to California if they would have had a little bit of chutzpah and made it to the ocean. And then the world would have been their oyster. But they stopped in the desert.
Yeah.
And just took in something that someone already had done. So already we're on the wrong foot. They just... The settlers of Phoenix just settled stole the natives' land and just used their irrigation systems. They were just lazy, is what you're telling me.
Well, they're retired. They don't want to go any further.
You just want to grab them and just go like another day and you're somewhere nice. Like, just stick with it, guys.
One more day and you're in San Diego.
Right.
Best place to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even go south and go to the coast of Mexico. The world's like quite literally your oyster. You could just go anywhere, but you stopped. You stopped right there. Oh, there's water. There's an irrigation system. Oh, well, great. All right, Hardy, what do we have for the people today in terms of news?
We have news from, believe it or not, the state of Florida, and this one is ripe for puns, so we'll be doing a pun counter as this story unfolds.
Yeah, Florida news is just basically Mad Magazine now.
WPLG especially, God bless them.
This is a Tampa area station?
And one of the anchors and the reporters sound like maybe they had a couple of high noons before the broadcast.
Because Tampa is the antithesis of Phoenix. Tampa should be an Eden, but man has taken it over and created hell, which if you've been there. It's inarguable. Tampa should be much nicer than it is. Everyone is Crash's brother in Tampa.
Yeah, I think this is Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
All right, well, Tampa is still my point. Miami, you could make the same argument. Miami should be way nicer than it is. Was it, Hardy, have you been to South Beach recently? Yeah, you have been to South Beach recently.
Yeah, 6 years ago.
It's lost a little bit of the luster. The Versace's not spending a lot of time there. Not the fashion capital of the U.S. anymore. No. All right, here is, it doesn't really matter in Florida where this is Florida.
A first date taking a dangerous turn in a one and only exclusive. A woman tells us she's lucky to be alive after her date hits her with his car.
Yeah, but before he drove off, he kept asking her about her feet. A local 10's Rosh Lowe joining us live in Aventura with a breakdown for us.
Hello,
Aventura.
She's got a little Betty Davis eyes happening. Aventura, first of all, these have to be seniors, correct?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Because
the average age is 85.
Have you been to Aventura?
No.
I don't mean to keep crapping on places in the United States, but John has.
Yeah.
Aventura is a bunch of skyscrapers filled with old people, and they literally, not a lie, not hyperbole, have ambulances stationed in front of the high-rises because they're hauling off dead people.
Why waste the gas going back and forth?
I think they might even be like hired guns for the development that's like part of it. It's hell.
It gets even better, and this is something my buddy was in South Florida recently. He told me about this. The ambulances are also parked outside the 2 malls that are there because that's what the seniors do. The malls are right next to the skyscrapers. They do their walk, and every once in a while, there's a health problem.
And by every once in a while, you mean and every day.
Yes, that's correct.
My ex-wife's, one of her grandparents lived in one of those hellholes, and it looked like Miami Vice when you walked in because it hadn't been decorated since like 85. But and the guy who made the place killed himself because the pool was on the wrong side and it never got sun. So and then it's like 80 stories high. So all there is to do there is walk in malls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you're in Florida where it's like hot and nice, but it's so overdeveloped that you can't even, there's not even by the beach really.
No.
To my recollection.
No, they're inland by about 6 blocks. It's weird.
And then so you would go to like a bagel place and this guy would stand up and I'm telling you, this bagel place is like 500 people. It's a capacity of like 200 and there's 500 people there because they gave away a free lunch every lunchtime. So you had 1 500 shot of getting this free bagel.
Did it have schmear?
I think you get a schmear.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
of
worth it.
course.
All right, so Aventura, the guy loves feet. Okay.
Strange, bizarre, and certainly something didn't smell right here.
Okay, that's one.
We've all heard horror stories about online dating, but this suspect, well, he didn't pass the smell test.
All right. 2.
This woman got hit by a car, we've been told earlier, by the way.
That's right.
And they're really focusing on the feet.
This guy asked to smell your feet?
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
Well, initially we had met up because I was going to sell him my sneakers.
Oh, well.
Who saw that coming?
This doesn't sound so much as an online date.
Thank you, Fred. So, as this woman speaks, you will hear more clues to maybe, just maybe, this wasn't just a meetup of a couple of young professionals on a dating app.
And what's the positive she gets out of being on the news? So now you're the creepy chick that sells her shoes and complains when the guy wants to smell your feet?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know a girl that lived here that went on an online date, and the guy tried to put they were on a bench in the city, and she had sandals on, and the guy took her leg and tried to put her foot in his mouth.
There it is.
And that was a first date.
Tiny red flag.
Yeah, they were just sitting on a bench, and he went, "Oh, let me see those sandals," and he grabbed her leg and tried to put her foot in his mouth. He tried to play it off too, and she was like, I don't think we'll see each other again. Again, if you're online dating, all you have to do is not put the girl's foot in your mouth, and you've already better than 50% of the guys they've been out with.
Well, initially we had met up because I was going to sell him my sneakers.
She knew something didn't smell right when she met this.
That's 4.
This guy, Almansi Sersel, at an Aventura hotel.
So they put the guy's face up there.
Yeah, and meeting him at a hotel.
Yeah, she was selling her shoes to a guy that she was meeting at a hotel.
Yeah.
If this was my daughter, I would say you're making a lot of mistakes. I don't think you should get hit by a car. You're not doing anything terrible, but
yeah,
this is all sounding like you're putting yourself in a pretty compromised position.
When I got there, he just wanted to sniff my feet, and I didn't feel comfortable with that.
I have to stop you there. What do you say when someone says, I want to sniff your feet?
Yeah. What do you say?
Let's role play. I'm going to say it right now. What would you say to me?
So your head is bobbing up and down, yes?
Comfortable with that.
I have to stop you there. What do you say when someone says, I want to sniff your feet?
No.
Then things got downright scary. She says the suspect runs out of the room. She thinks with her sneakers.
I ran after him, and I met him down in the parking garage. He did a 3-point turn, and...
Okay, so the guy takes off with the sneakers you were going to sell him that were worn sneakers that he wanted to smell and masturbate with. Let's be honest. This is what the man wanted. He wanted to use these as a tool for masturbation. And he wanted to meet you, so he saw what you looked like in person, so he could go home and masturbate to your shoes.
Maybe even in them. Or with them.
I don't know. I don't have a foot fetish. But then, despite people's very loud proclamations that I doth protest too much, I do find it funny because it's so absurd. But nonetheless, and then he takes the shoes and he runs off, and you chase him down for your used shoes. Why don't you just chalk it up to a bad transaction and give him a negative rating on the site where you sell your shoes on?
What are you out?
I can only put my position as the parent of the woman.
Yeah.
And I would say, take the loss at that point. You've made a lot of mistakes going up to now. The worst thing that happened is the guy ran off with your shoes.
And you're out, what, $10, $15?
Well, you're out nothing because there's shoes that you're out money that you were going to get, but in terms of your own expenses.
Right.
You're out. I don't know if it's $500, but you're really out no money.
Yeah.
They didn't take anything of value from you. Just go wear another pair of beat up Keds and sell them, or don't. Just say you're selling shoes that you wore. He wanted to smell your feet so he could probably check them against the shoes. Don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, he wants to make sure he's buying the real shoe. It doesn't seem like an outrageous request.
It's just an authentication process.
Right. Again, this woman by no means needs to let this guy smell her feet, and she has every right to say no, and the guy's a creep. But it's not like a incredibly long leap to go like, I'm buying your shoes because I want to smell them, and you're sitting here with your feet. I would like to double check that it's really your shoes.
Right.
It's not like a completely absurd logic.
I want to let your feet marinate in my mouth.
Oh, now I can't stand up.
Actually hit me with a car, ran me over. And by the grace of God, I'm still standing today.
She shows us the injuries.
I've met a lot of people who have foot fetishes, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. My goodness.
Right on, sister. Clear our names.
Very beautiful feet.
Clear our names. Man, this guy's queering the deal for all of us.
Obviously, I've met a lot of guys with foot fetishes. Oh, is that obvious?
Well, she's online.
Yes,
and there
because
are
you're
men.
online selling your filthy sneakers to people and meeting up with them in hotels. Obviously, this is my business. This is my vocation.
But we've done this thought exercise before. It's a chicken or egg scenario. Were the foot fetishes around, but just not, you didn't know about them before the internet? Or has the internet created all these foot fetishes?
Giving these people a community.
Yeah, but that would be they were pre-existing and now they're just like able to buy shoes more easily. Or did this like foot fetish kind of trend create a subculture that wasn't there before? I'm going the latter. I can't imagine this many guys were into feet before the internet.
Wonderful little feet with red nail polish, which is the color of love and passion. And I love you so much, my love of my life. I will always love your perfect feet.
He's obviously reading something.
I thought he was done about twice there, but no, there's more.
Well, that's not a script that we wrote, and that's not something he's saying off the cuff. So he's obviously like reading something that an athlete sent to someone. I mean, we didn't write that. And he didn't write that. So someone wrote
My
that.
love
That's a
of
third
my
party.
life.
Yeah, we didn't write that. And Jay Stu didn't write that. So he's reading something that really happened.
She shows us the injuries.
I've met a lot of people who have foot fetishes, obviously. And nobody has ever done anything to this caliber.
In his arrest report, cops say after a review of the defendant's background, he's been the subject in other incidents involving the same modus operandi.
We've covered a lot of bizarre cases. This is up there.
It's pretty bizarre. It was extremely bizarre for me, too. I've never experienced anything like this before.
Yeah, we're good people. Dalton, hello.
Freddie T, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? So, dude, years ago, I don't know if you remember this story. You and me spoke about, because, feet are absolutely hilarious when, grown men think they're attractive. So you and me were speaking. My friend's his name is Steve-O, but we call him Fido.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember this, Freddie?
No, but I just like that you have a friend that you call Fido because it's so well known that he has a foot fetish. But go on.
I will. Yeah. So let me give you a good one, Freddie. So he went to a Bruins game one night with my friend. He had a couple adult beverages and proceeded to text my buddy's girlfriend asking for her feet. So my friend, being the gentleman that he is, sends a picture of his hairy foot. And my friend Fido, my friend Fido replied, "You're going to have to do better than that." And I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
So Fido, is his whole identity at this point in your friend group that he loves feet?
Oh, dude, it's so well. We can go way back to high school, but we're not going to get into that because if he's listening right now, he would probably kill me.
Right.
But. Yeah. So
I don't want you to out the guy, but right.
Yeah. But it goes back to high school. We all thought it was a joke, and then now it comes out I think my buddy one time, I think he ordered a Domino's pizza just so he could beat him up because he asked his girlfriend about her feet.
Oh, boy.
Literally. Freddie. He gets
he's called Fido.
Fido's on the. Oh yeah. Freddie, you asked him if you can get him in studio, and he told me to call back. So. Here I am, 6 years later. So
all right, and he's still around. I wouldn't mind. Email me. I don't know. Maybe we could do something with Fido.
Yeah.
If he doesn't mind being outed. Sean, you know the science behind the foot fetish?
Yeah, so I'm not into feet and I'm not a scientist, but I read an article once where the cortex in your brain controls pleasure is next to the cortex that, like, if you rub your feet, there's some sort of science where there's a pleasure receptor next to, like, the nerve receptors in the brain connected to the feet. Do some research on it. I don't know what it is, but it scientifically made sense when I read the article.
Okay, so what I've heard, Sean, and what it makes sense to me in a Freudian way is that people have foot fetishes because when they're kids and they feel like afraid, they hug their mom's leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then that, they associate that. It's kind of like, I assume, people say kind of the same thing with breasts, but my thing with breasts is that men, by nature don't have them. So it's like why I don't understand why girls don't go mad for the hairy chest, like they did in the 70s, is because it's machismo. Like women, as a rule, do not generally have chest hair. So you would think that chest hair would be a big thing for them because, women, it's a very feminine thing to have breasts. Feet, everyone got. So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it would make sense that there's like a twofold explanation. There, number one, like at your mother's feet. But I've read that before too, like rubbing your feet together. A lot of people will do that as they're going to sleep at night, or.
But that's your feet though, like so.
But that is triggering. It's very close to a pleasure center in your own brain, so you associate just feet with pleasure from a physiological standpoint, and then there's the psychological thing of your mother.
See, the mother thing makes way more sense to me than your feet feel good being rubbed against each other, so you would find them sexually desirable. Like, I don't get that logical leap. The mother thing makes way more sense to me. Because it's the same thing with guys that are, like, in the pantyhose or, like, legs. That would make sense.
But it's all chemical and electrical and, the impulses from your feet to your brain, and that gives you pleasure. So someone else's feet, maybe I'll get pleasure from those too.
I think that when you're attracted to someone, it's a lot of times it's very symmetrical. It's based on how masculine or feminine they are. And that's just kind of ingrained in us. And then everything that's an offshoot of that is something that happened in your childhood.
Crush me, mommy.
Exactly.
Crush me with those perfect feet. Crush me, please, mommy.
We could get into...
There's always more.
We could get into John's proclivities and why those are what they are.
Oof.
But there's a lot of guys into butts. But I would argue that's feminine and somewhat involved in the birthing of the children. Hips. Yes, hips.
Hips, yes.
Yeah, well,
okay.
That's the
Fair
thing
enough.
is that an hourglass figure,
Yeah.
even though I'm no big butt guy, I understand the rationale from an evolutionary standpoint. Don't get me started. All right? Dan Wetzel will know.
Well,
Dan
let's ask
Wetzel's
him.
going to join us. He can talk about Mike Lombardi, our good friend, who we keep waiting to get fired. We'll talk to Dan Wetzel in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
We are Toucher and Hardy and Mike Lombardi, who very arrogantly went on Felger and Maz and told them that they didn't know anything. And I still feel that Mad Dog had on once a week because he knew he would get the rest of the hour out of it. People making fun of Mike Lombardi. He's a combination of dumb and arrogant, which is, again, the worst combination of a human being. And he's been placed on administrative leave. And when something happens bad at North Carolina football, we get very excited. And we go to the man who knows everything about college football and what's going on, Dan Wetzel from ESPN. Dan, I apologize for my harsh tones with Mike Lombardi. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm speaking from my own opinion.
Well, it's an opinion shared by many. There's no question about that.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dick. And I don't think overly intelligent. He brags about using a typewriter as if that's some sign that he's Einstein. But Dan, what?
Yeah, and just real quickly, Dan, you make a point of that early on. I believe the word you used was acerbic. To describe Mike Lombardi, like you would think a guy that has kind of bounced around team to team and hadn't worked college football since the 80s, as you point out, might be, I don't know, just a little nicer overall, like, happy to be here, going to go along to get along, but that's not really how he is it?
No, it's not. And it's been, when you talk to people around North Carolina's program, but also just people in college football, including recruits and high school coaches and things like that, this isn't the NFL. You don't draft a player. You have to recruit a player. Even now with NIL and revenue sharing, you're paying these guys. You have to convince them to come to your school, not the other one. And there's nothing about North Carolina other than Bill Belichick that makes you say, boy, I really want to play there. So you have to have some kind of charisma, some kind of be nice to this coach, be nice to the mom, be nice to all of this stuff. And I don't know every specific thing. I'm sure occasionally he is, but the overarching thing is he's not like the other guys. North Carolina has 70 new players this year. That's how it works in college football these days. There's only 53 guys on an NFL roster. They got 70. So every year you have to bring in all these players. You can't be acerbic. You have to be very welcoming. And, Lombardi's did a terrible job, along with Belichick. We're not going to excuse Belichick, in putting the roster together last year, which is why they went 4-8. They were completely outmatched, and we have no idea whether Belichick can be a great coach at that level when you don't have the talent. And what you heard was, hey, they're trying to sign this kid. They beat out 4 Sun Belt schools for him. They're not beating Clemson and Alabama for talent. They had nobody drafted last year. The Patriots weren't allowed to scout. Good for the Patriots. They didn't miss a single thing.
They didn't waste their time.
Don't have to split their attention. Yeah.
It's a mess. And now you get them suspended. Now, the other Belichick, there's been a lot of soap opera down there, and they don't like it. But you can say, hey, look, this is my girlfriend. This is a book tour. This has nothing to do with the football program. This is the general manager that you hand-selected that had no experience at the college level, and you made him the highest paid guy in all of college football at the general manager position. There's no separating Mike Lombardi getting put on administrative leave and saying it's not a football issue. This is football, and this is the issue for Carolina football.
Okay, and also Pablo Torre said that there is some new. You have to apologize. I have to excuse us. We're in the Northeast, so I don't really. There's some new organization that kind of keeps track of NIL and things like that.
That's
and
investigating.
And that Pablo Torre suggests that they're investigating the North Carolina program as well. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that. There's no rules in college football anymore. So they're investigating a lot of people. I said it's like going down 24 to Fall River. Is there really anyone checking the speed limit?
That's a good point.
I was doing that last week.
That was really good.
I was doing that last week.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Are they probably violating some rules? Absolutely. Everybody is. I wouldn't worry too much about that, although it is one more thing. But here's the thing, Belichick really, I think, the mistake that may prove fatal for him. It's not just Lombardi. He brought in a lot of friends and family. And when you make the jump, when you see it in the NBA or the NFL, anytime a college guy tries to jump up to the NFL or the NBA, remember Urban Meyer, Steve Spurrier, even Nick Saban didn't do a great job. Or when pro guys go down to college, they think their system will work at the next level. And it's the same sport, but the nuances are totally different. And he needed to surround himself with experienced college guys that could just handle these things. And that hasn't happened. And that's put him at the talent deficit that will doom you in these sports. And that's why they only won 4 last year, and we'll see how they do this year. But the schedule is very, very difficult for them to even get to 6 wins or something like that. It would be a really good season for North Carolina, but I don't think you bring in Bill Belichick to win 6 games.
All right, we're talking to Dan Wetzel from ESPN. So let's just do this thought exercise. Let's just say Bill Belichick's a very good football coach. Say Bill Belichick goes, okay, I'm going into uncharted territory, and hypothetically he hires some guy with a lot of college experience and pays him more than anyone else at that position, like Lombardi is. Lombardi's the highest paid general manager, I guess, in college football. Is North Carolina with Bill Belichick a program, if ran right, could be relatively successful in the ACC?
I believe it can. I think the concept is pretty simple. You take a coach, one of the great coaches of all time, someone with incredible NFL experience. No one has more NFL experience, and you sell that to good players and say, "Come here. You're going to learn how to get to the NFL. You're going to be coached by someone who." Not just game plans, but the intricacies of every position. And in some places that has worked. Some of their recruiting has been good. They signed the number one player out of the city of Detroit last year to go to North Carolina over Ohio State and Michigan, things like that. And he literally said, why wouldn't I go try to learn from Bill Belichick, right? This is an unbelievable opportunity. So the concept can work, but you have to get a lot of those guys. And if you don't, it's not there, and they have not done that. And so we'll see how they do this year. Again, 70 new players, but they've shifted their focus from transfer portal, getting older guys, to going with some of these freshmen. As good as you can be as a freshman, you're still a freshman. So I think it could have worked, and I think it still could, but I don't know why Belichick went, particularly with Lombardi, with zero experience and really not even a great track record as an NFL and as NFL personnel.
All of this has been incredibly embarrassing for the school since he took over. How much longer are they going to wait before claiming things back?
That's going to be the big question, and it's going to be tough. This is North Carolina. It's very, they hold themselves very highly. It's sort of, Southern gentry. When they think of a coach, it's Dean Smith and the way he carried himself and all of that type of stuff. And so all of the soap opera, all of the headlines, we'll see what happens with this case, is a problem. They also aren't winning, and they're going to start this season. They play TCU, Clemson, and Notre Dame in the first 4 weeks. They could be better and be 1-3. And then if Belichick would repeat Bill Parcells' line, you are what your record is. How long will this go? I don't know. Could it be just 2 years and done? It's not out of the question. And if you actually look, Duke, their arch rival, who nobody thinks is any good in football, is actually pretty good in football right now. So they won the ACC last year. If Duke can do it, and you brought in Bill Belichick, and you can't do it. Carolina's never been great, but they're rarely bad. They're usually a nice 7-8 win team. They turn out pros. So there's a lot of pressure on North Carolina, and the off-field stuff just adds to it.
Yeah, and just think, if you look at Indiana, and you go, Indiana's like a big basketball academic school.
They were the worst college football team in the nation 3 or 4 years ago.
Right, and then they bring a guy in, and all of a sudden they're the best team in college football. Well, Dan Wetzel, great stuff as always. Dan Wetzel is the man when it comes to all this stuff with college football. Read him at ESPN. Dan, thank you so much for the time as always.
Anytime, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, all right, Dan. Appreciate it. There you go, Dan Wetzel. No one likes Lombardi. He's a big piece of crap. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. We are Toucher and Hardy. There is a adaptation of a book that I read by Bret Easton Ellis of The Shards that is now out on streaming. It has a very attractive young cast. I don't know anything about what it's even on. And I'm supposed to see The Odyssey this evening.
Oh, good.
So I'll have seen Young Washington and The Odyssey, therefore putting myself in the middle of the cultural wars. I will have firmly planted both feet in the culture wars.
Which side will you choose?
Well, we'll have to see. We'll see after tonight. I mean, with my parents, I sat through Young Washington in Birmingham, Alabama. We were the only 3 people in the theater, but it was 4 o'clock on a Monday.
Your attitude about this one will be much different. You're not trying to get away from anything. You're not trying to pass time. This is
I'm always trying to pass time.
Well, this is a choice to go see this particular movie.
Right. And apparently, Will Ferrell's new TV show is terrible, which I don't know why I kind of knew it would be. I don't even have any. Anchorman is probably my favorite movie of all time, certainly my favorite comedy. But I just, it just almost seemed too obvious. Like he
really went all out with the hawk visor and stuff. I told you he was part of the home run derby, and they had him on the desk. And he was doing his thing, and he wasn't funny at all. At all. It was really a little disconcerting, actually. It was weird.
Yeah, it just seems like it's kind of like a character he's done a bunch of times, but now he's a golfer.
Yeah.
I watched the first maybe 15 minutes of it over the weekend, the first 15 minutes of the first episode, and it seems like they had the kernel of an idea. They said, you know what? We'll just roll. We'll just roll camera, and some funny stuff will happen. And we won't worry so much about the story or all that stuff. We'll just see what goes down. I lasted 15 minutes. I was tired.
But even when you interviewed him,
I'm all set.
And he had the opportunity to improvise, it didn't seem like he was overly committed to it. So I'm wondering if he's just, as a man, tired of this particular like brand of comedy, and like when it comes time to improvise, which 20 years ago he would have been super into it and like really rolling. Now there's like almost this like kind of like fog in his brain that's just like, I've done this so many times. Like, you know, some people can, like you said, Sacha Baron Cohen has an Ali G movie coming out, which I love Ali G. So like, and I love all of Sacha Baron Cohen's reality stuff.
Yeah.
He's in a film that's out now about, you'll never guess, a guy that's got a real complex against women. He gets his head hit, and then all of a sudden the women are in charge. It's something that you never could have conceived of. It seems odd that he took the role. But nonetheless, it's as bad as it sounds. You won't make it through it. I have that commitment. But the Ali G stuff, like the Borat stuff, even the Bruno, like that stuff is incredible. I don't even know how he pulls it off. So I'll always see that. But I just wonder if Will Ferrell, there was something about the vibe of this and the energy of this going in that it just didn't seem like anyone was overly committed. Like he was doing interviews like as the character. And it's like, whoa, you don't really seem to know what's going on.
Well, the part of it that I watch too is like the thing that I get from watching Ted Lasso and some of these other streaming shows or series, and it's not across the board. Like the what was the one, Widow's Bay? Like that was well done. That looks good. That looks like, but when you're watching episodes that all seem like 30-minute to 1 hour long movies,
Mm-hmm.
The Will Ferrell one, it kind of looks cheap.
Like Happy Gilmore 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
It doesn't look like a real show or a real movie.
I thought the same thing about Ted Lasso. I'm like, this looks like a set. This doesn't look like a locker room. This looks like there's a couple of cameras at one end of an open space, and whether it's the lighting or just who they hired to shoot it. I'm like, is it worth my time? Is it worth my time to sit here anymore? I don't think so.
Yeah, it does seem sometimes when a movie has been made for streaming, like it's not coming out in theaters, that it has almost like a porno type quality, like a straight to video type quality to it, just in terms of the way it looks.
Yeah.
Just the lighting.
A
and
lot of the
cameras.
Sandler stuff is like that. The Hubie Halloween, which is, I actually talked to somebody who liked that movie, and I said, well, then I just can't talk to you anymore.
What did they like about you? Did they like it because
they thought it was fun?
Okay, so they didn't think it was funny. They thought it was fun.
I thought it was fun. I said, but at some point, like 10 minutes in, you're watching this thing. It looks like it was shot on an iPhone, and in some ways not even that good. Like, is this worth your time? It wasn't worth their time to like actually put effort into it to make it look good and sound good and have a good script. So no, this isn't worth my time.
But then you see That's My Boy, and it's a comedic triumph, which I do believe. I think That's My Boy is very funny, and then no one pays attention to that one.
Well, that's what bugs me about Sandler is like he can do stuff that's like super irreverent like that, and I'm like, wow, this is worth it. Or Uncut Gems, which is fantastic.
Well, he's a great actor. Like he's like legit a great actor.
So why does he also do this other stuff?
Maybe because he can.
He knows it, but
Did
you
you put his
know he
family in
knows
it?
the difference. He's a smart guy, and he's a funny guy, and he knows the difference between what's good and what's total
But
crap.
maybe he feels like what's the harm in doing this? I'm just making family stuff. I'm putting my family and friends in it. Like this is all positives. Not everything has to be like really funny.
Maybe he just doesn't take the whole thing as a whole, like his body of work, seriously. Fine, he's probably a lot happier if that's how he truly feels about it. Look, this isn't life or death. I'm going to make some really good movies, and I'm going to make some absolute unwatchable crap, and that's not going to change who I am as a person. I think it will change how you're remembered.
Well,
but maybe he doesn't care about that either.
Because
and again,
it's almost healthy, because if you think about it, it's hard to overestimate how popular he was when I was in college. Like when he had comedy albums coming out, they were like a part of like life. Like that, he was he was by far the biggest. Like when I first saw
guys our age can still do Toll Booth Willie, and,
Right.
and you'll know what that means.
Well, I remember where I was when I first saw Billy Madison. And now, like, it doesn't seem that funny to me. But at the time, which is all that matters, like, at the time, I remember, like, dying. I was at my friend Jay's house. I remember this vividly and just, like, watching it and dying laughing because I'd never seen anything like that before. It was so dumb.
Yeah.
But it was so great in how dumb it was that, see, I think Billy Madison's way better than Happy Gilmore, because Billy Madison is almost like, how did he get away with making that? Like, it's so deliberately dumb that it was just so shocking and funny. Like, Happy Gilmore is like a real story, and he's trying.
Yeah.
Like, he's just making noises and crap. And Billy Madison, he's just sitting in a bathtub. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so great.
There's a couple of things, like Happy Gilmore is a good example of it. Whenever Ben Stiller shows up in a character in some kind of costume or mustachioed, you've reached comedy desperation. When Stiller shows up playing anything other than Ben Stiller, like, this isn't going to go
And
well.
the Ben Stiller show was great. The Ben Stiller show was really funny.
Yeah, but is like the tough guy orderly and
No, I know it's
like oh, this
it's
sucks.
not landing. Like it's not.
It doesn't. It never does.
Yeah, it's like more like it looks like your friends and like kind of clowning around.
But it's like you love Anchorman, but when Stiller shows up as the Telemundo anchor in the big news anchor fight.
Is that in the first one?
Yes.
That's the first
Well,
one.
that's how little he resonated. I don't even
Right,
remember
it's
it
like,
from the first one. But
okay.
by the time it gets to the anchor fight, I'm out. Like, I mean, all the funny stuff's already happened.
He was on screen for what, 3 minutes?
Yeah, but you just see it and you're like, this is.
Well, the second one's super funny, and then all they did at the end is throw as many celebrities as they can, which I've never understood that concept. Like, you're in a big budget film in the movie theater. Like, it's not crazy that there's actors in it. Like, the Austin Power movies were great. But in one of the sequels,
the third one where they had the party scene at the front with Tom Cruise, but it was just to show that they had all these people there.
And it's like Tom Cruise is in it. It's like, well, no kidding. These movies have made $500 million. They're movies. Tom Cruise is an actor. It's not crazy, and it just says like Tom Cruise, and you're like, big deal.
Yeah,
he was in the Outsiders, for Christ's sakes. He was in the dumb football movie. It's
all
not
the right
ridiculous.
moves,
not a
baby.
dumb movie.
All the right moves. Very good movie.
Yeah,
Empire.
He was the 5'2", 5'2" safety that everyone wanted.
Hey, did he wind up with the college scholarship at the end? Yes, he did.
All right.
One of the best engineering schools in the country.
That's right. Craig T. Nelson.
He came
saw it. He saw the error of his ways, didn't he? At the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he didn't like that he was screwing around with his daughter. All right, we'll be back in just a minute to continue on with feet. Dan Orlovsky talks about
daughter. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Didn't he date the daughter of the coach?
No, he didn't.
No, he dated
didn't.
Leah Thompson. Leah Thompson had a heart-to-heart with the coach's wife.
That's right.
And that's what helped turn him
She
around.
was in the band. She had nothing to do with him.
Leah Thompson, though, in Some Kind of Wonderful, was this homecoming queen, so she's very versatile. She can play a loser band geek, John, and the belle of the ball.
Amanda in Some Kind of Wonderful.
Yeah. That was my ex-wife's favorite movie. Ask her why. She can't tell you.
You know the bad guy's name in that movie?
Huh.
Hardy.
Ooh.
Is that right?
How delicious.
Scheffler.
All right, look, we got a
yeah.
break. We'll be back in just a moment. Nick has made a very good video. The video he played at our big party, he has put up on Instagram at Toucher and Hardy. I'm a collaborator at Fred Toucher. I don't know if Hardy's collabed on it yet. But it's a big collaboration, and it's a trip down memory lane with Nick and Adolfo. Me yelling at Nick, Adolfo dressed up for Thanksgiving. There's even a little picture of our friend the chili guy. R.I.P. To my knowledge, R.I.P. with the chills. But nonetheless, that is up now on Instagram if you'd like to take a little trip down memory lane. Plus, you can watch us now in real time on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Dan Orlovsky, obviously, is about to be quite omnipresent on ESPN because we're getting back to football. And I don't know if you guys have thought about this, but Jonathan, do you watch football with your boys?
I do.
Do you watch football with your son, Hardy?
No.
Okay, so...
He does not care.
Yeah, my son doesn't care about watching anything else except for football. He will watch the Jets. And this is the last year that he is going to be in town, at least for the next, hopefully, 4 years, that he's not going to be in town during the majority of the NFL season. The one thing that we still do on a regular basis as routine together is watch the Jets. We're going to be going to Detroit for the third week of the season as the Jets are coming to Detroit. And we have a midnight flight, or a flight that gets in at midnight on Sunday. I had a 5:30 option, so I could have just zoomed out of Ford Field at the end of it and got into Metro, lickety split. I wouldn't have gotten there by 6 or 9:15.
Yeah.
So I took the 9:15 flight, but I figure I didn't sleep last night. So what the hell's the difference?
Sure.
So that's what I'm doing. But anyway, it's a little sad that this is the last football season, and they'll have never been good. For as long as he's been in the house and interested, they've been bad. They've not made the playoffs since he's been coherent enough to know what's going on. I think the last time they made the playoffs, he was probably like 5 or 6, and he didn't care. So, say he's been watching them for 5 years, it's just garbage. And it's going to be garbage again this year. And
well, I mean, they only slipped one spot in the power rankings from 2025.
Okay, so they are 30th now?
Yes.
Yeah. Who's behind? Arizona's behind them,
Arizona's
and Arizona is behind them, and not Vegas, because everyone's all in on Vegas because of their offseason moves.
Yeah, Vegas is all the way up to 29.
Yeah.
Well, they have Kirk Cousins, so maybe he alone can get you a couple of wins.
I don't know if I'd rather have Kirk Cousins than Geno Smith. Now, I wouldn't want either, but I don't know if Geno Smith is marketably worse than Kirk Cousins. Geno Smith throws a lot of picks, and he's terrible. But that was a pretty bad offensive line in Vegas. And Cousins sucks. He couldn't even start in Atlanta after they gave him all that money. So I'm just saying now, I'd rather have Jacoby Brissett probably than either of them. So I would put Jacoby Brissett ahead of them in terms of their quarterback's future.
No, the Jets are ahead of the Cardinals and another team that is also good news for the Patriots.
Oh, Miami.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Miami's full-blown, get rid of everyone except Achane.
Yeah, they blew up everything.
Yeah, they're 31, Cardinals 32.
I still wouldn't be overly confident that New England just goes and rolls them in Miami. New England has problems in Miami.
The Patriots went 14-2 one year and lost in Miami on Monday night. I mean, it never ceases to amaze me how they do not win in that town or in that stadium rather.
Yeah, and they play him. They play him at the beginning of November, so I guess that's good news for them because it won't be 100 million degrees, of which I guess is very difficult to play in if you're not used to it. But Dan Orlovsky is back. He will be on every day. He will be on several hours a day. Here he is yesterday on one of the ESPN shows.
You never get a pedicure? I have never gotten a pedicure.
Oh, it's a delight.
I never will.
Yeah, no, it's
I'm
great.
completely against pedicures for dudes.
Why? What for?
You're a dude. You're not supposed to get pedicures.
Yes.
That's right. You would be a real man. You can't get that lady working on your feet. Crash gets pedicures all the time, and then he posts pictures of it like he's a little silly goose.
Okay. And Crash is a silly goose, so I'm not surprised at that. Nor
Because he gets nail polish put on his nails, and he's like, tee-hee.
Have you ever had a pedicure?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I've been to like a nail salon with a girl before and gotten stuff done. I don't know if I probably have gotten a pedicure, probably in my life. Yeah, I would imagine I have.
John?
Never.
There's no hesitation. That's something you would remember.
Well, it's not like I went, first of all, if you want to get your feet done, apparently it's the craze. Everyone's looking at feet, so maybe in the summer it's not the worst idea in the world to get a pedicure.
My goodness.
Right.
Very beautiful feet. And pretty good toes.
There's always something
I
extra.
love
There's
them.
always something
Enjoy
else.
your weekend.
See?
So there is, who knows what girls are even looking at? Maybe they're looking at everyone's toenails to see if you're successful. They measure your success with your toenail.
I'm guessing that across the board, the answer would be they don't want to see your feet in public.
Yeah, I would assume that's the case.
Yeah.
But who knows what they're looking at. But anyway, I probably have gotten a pedicure once. I think I have. I remember I have. And I remember not liking it. That I didn't like them, that they were rough, and I didn't like them like sticking a stick in my toenails.
Yeah. I mean, just sitting there with, back with the feet down there.
But if they like rubbed your feet and like, pampered you, I mean, who could resist that?
I could.
Did you ever go to the spa?
No.
Oh, see, I don't think you'd mind it.
I've never had a massage.
Yeah, that could go either way. They can be very painful. And they're like, oh, you're really tight. Like, this is going to hurt. And you're like, oh. And they're like, you feel so much better. And you're like, no. All you did was grind your elbow into my back.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't cardiovascular. You're not doing a triple bypass and putting a camera into my veins. You're just leaning into my back.
I couldn't imagine sitting there for a pedicure. At one time, I got my shoes shined at the airport.
Well, that's more embarrassing, I think, than getting a pedicure.
It was a long time ago, and there were still people doing it. Like,
They still have the chairs at some of the airports.
Yeah, and you might even see somebody working at them, but the shoes I was wearing, they desperately needed, to be cleaned up. And I remember sitting there thinking, this doesn't feel right. I don't feel right sitting here. I'm very self-conscious about people walking by and looking at me getting my shoes shined. Like, it's just wrong. I don't want it.
Yeah,
nothing to do with it.
The shoe shine thing, is almost by trope, is degrading to the guy who's shining the shoes.
Thank you.
But the pedicure is not in that same kind of realm. The pedicure is like it's a whole scene, baby. Everyone's yammering and yentering it up. It's a whole scene. You ever
My goodness. Very beautiful feet and pretty good toes.
That's it? Okay. So
wonderful little feet with red nail polish, which is the color of love and passion.
Have you ever?
And I love you so much. My love of my life.
See?
I will always love your perfect feet.
Have you ever got to take your daughter to get like her eyebrows waxed or get like her nails done?
No, that's for her mother.
Oh, you've never had it? Because the eyebrow wax takes like 2 seconds.
No.
Oh, no.
I've never been present for one of those things.
Oh, you never had to pick her up or drop her off?
Maybe, but I'd never gone inside.
It's a whole social situation. It's everyone's having the time of their lives. It's not like getting your shoe shined at the airport. The shoe shine at the airport's essentially throwing money into a guitar case. Like it's not a job. Like, it's almost like you feel bad.
You do feel bad. It was an older black man who was doing it. I'm like, I don't like how this feels. I don't like how it looks. The shoes look great. Thank you.
But at Metro Airport in Detroit, and the thing is the guy would be like, I want everyone to get their shoes shined. But you're right.
I know.
It feels degrading, and it's like the thing from Goodfellas, like shine my shoes. Like, it seems like a subservient thing to do.
Yes.
No, I get it completely. And they do have shoe shine chairs at Metro Airport in Detroit still.
I think they
right
still
by
have,
security.
They might. I'm trying to remember where it was. Maybe in Vegas they still had them too.
Yeah, they have them like right when you get into the main terminal in Detroit, like while you're walking through security or you're going to baggage claim. There's like chairs there. I've never seen anyone at them, but there are chairs there available. And that's the thing is that if you ask the guy who's shining shoes, he'd be like, yeah, I want everyone to come get their shoes shined. I want consistent, constant business. But it does seem like because of like shining shoes in popular culture, at least, Goodfellas, like shine my shoes. The guy like shoots them. Like, it seems like a real insult.
I'll have to.
No one ever says, give me a pedicure.
I'll have to ask Marcy because I think she was wearing like some boots and she's like, oh, that's a good idea. And I think we both sat there. And afterwards, she said, I didn't care for that because, because one of us had to sit there while the other one went first. And then I think I went first. And I'm like, I want to get down from here. And she said something to the effect of, don't you dare leave me sitting up here alone because it feels weird.
Yeah, because it's just you don't know how long it's going to take because you never get your shoes shined. Like,
Yeah.
There's that do I make conversation?
It's so much longer than you think.
Yeah, because there's like another thing that's going on. You can tell it's not really having any effect on the shoes at that point. Like all the important stuff's been done, and they're kind of just slapping it with a towel, and you're like, all right, I don't know what's going on.
What for?
You're a dude. You're not supposed to get pedicures.
Yes, you are.
Nah,
Nothing
man.
wrong with being.
Don't you put me in a role.
You have water dripping out of your mouth.
What just
You're
happened?
A mess.
It was a comedic.
All right.
all
it was a Dondero spit take type of
spit
thing.
take.
Yeah.
It was just like it was a slog of water for emphasis.
Okay.
Oh, it's a delight.
No. I'm so against this. This is a thing for me.
Oh, you're coming with me.
Dudes should not be getting pedicures.
Who am I told is laughing at this? Monica Jay Will? Can we put them up there? Feel good. Jay Will?
Just nasty feet, Dan. Just nasty feet.
My feet are awful. I totally agree. But I'd rather have awful feet than get pedicures.
Oh, come on. They scrape the terrible.
You're also not the person who should be having
I love a pedicure. Are you kidding?
It feels fantastic.
I totally
love a pedicure. Are you kidding me? They're wonderful.
I agree.
I've got my friends taking their teenage sons to get them.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent idea.
What?
Yes, and you should join them. And I've just got a text here from your wife who says, yes, I think, Dan, Greenie, talk him into it.
Trust me.
I'm talking you into this.
Yeah, I'll tell you. The pedicure I did not enjoy. But Dan Orlovsky's a real man.
Do you like your feet being rubbed, licked, or tickled?
And Mike Greenberg plays the role of the foppish dandy.
Yes.
You understand, on that show. He's the non-athlete foppish dandy. But he's got a good sense of humor about it. It's the same role as he had on Mike and Mike, really.
Yeah.
Mike Golick was the guy who loved donuts and being big in football. And Mike Greenberg was the more like, it was like, what's that called? The Odd Couple. What's that called?
Oh, yeah.
Every comedic pairing. What's that called? Oh, that old routine. That's what it is.
That thing.
Back from Shakespeare days. He was the fastidious one, and Golick was the real animal.
I want to let your feet marinate in my mouth.
If you want to get back to 6 o'clock in the morning, that's something a consultant would say. Like, your role is that you will be the fastidious guy.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And, like, so you just remember you're leaning into that. You're the fastidious one, and he is the, like, real animal. And, he's, like, the tough guy, and you're, like, kind of the pussy.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, congratulations on Orlovsky. He'll probably get in trouble for that.
Manicure I would do.
Oh, yeah. It's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
A manicure I don't really enjoy either. I don't like the way it feels. Like, I don't like it when they're, like, screwing around with the nails.
Right. Now, I've never had one.
They pull your cuticles down. Like, they take a stick and they, like...
that wooden stick.
Yeah, and I think if you've never done it before, like, I think I probably got the manicure when I got the pedicure, I'm guessing. And it might have been, like, a wedding thing or something. I don't know. But I did not enjoy that because it's, like, a really bizarre... It doesn't hurt. It's just, like, an invasive feeling, like, that they're... screwing around with something that no one ever touches, and they're like moving stuff around. Yeah. It's like that.
I was going to say, you're not selling it well at all.
Well, I didn't say that to go do it. I'm telling you that I think that if you're used to it, and it probably don't have to do as much if you're getting your nails regularly maintained, but if you go in there and you've never had a manicure, they're like, or a pedicure, they're really like screwing around and like moving things around. Like they're pushing all the stuff at the base of your nail down. And I think when you made the shivering gesture, John, that's exactly what it is. It's not pain as it is just like kind of like, I don't like that you're doing this to me. This isn't fun. This doesn't feel good, nor does it hurt. Like at least the wax hurts.
Yeah.
Like you derive almost a certain amount of pleasure from it at a certain point. There's so much over and over pain that like your brain almost retaliates by releasing dopamine. I've found. I'm really chasing that now.
Crush me, mommy.
Yeah, exactly.
Crush me with those perfect feet.
Like the 6th time they kick you in the balls, then you're really on cloud 9. But at least the waxing hurts, and there's a beginning, middle, and end that you know. Like once they're done waxing this whole operation, and the hair's gone, I'm done. The manicure and pedicure, like I don't even know what they're going for.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what they're doing half the time. They're moving things around. I didn't even know
because
I had.
it's not like they do one finger or one nail on one finger and that one's done and then they go to the next one. It's like they do all of them and then there's step 2.
Well,
and then
yeah,
step
and it's
3.
not
Like
like
how
they-
many steps are there?
They don't just clip your nails, buff them, and like shine them. They like push stuff around with a stick.
Yeah, I don't need any.
Yeah, that's not. It wasn't. I wouldn't do it again, probably. I mean, I'd do it if someone wanted to. I don't have an issue with it, but I wouldn't. I didn't enjoy it. But if it meant making someone else happy,
look at you. You're a giver.
You know,
that's all you are.
I mean, that's not all I am, John, but it's part of my package. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with the award-winning email segment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the sport.
The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right, we are Toucher and Hardy. Our email segment is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. If you'd like to email us, look no further than the 985thesportshub.com webpage. If you'd like to see the video that Nicholas made for our big party, you can go to our socials at Toucher and Hardy, and then you can see at Hardy985, and then on only Instagram at Fred Toucher on the account I can't be on the X, and also I don't want to be on X. I don't like it there.
Very healthy move you made.
I actually don't think it's mostly people. And I think there have been reports that it's like the vast majority of accounts are bots. And now if they're saying all this AI stuff, I don't want to sit there talking to AI or just getting yelled at by AI all day.
Yeah, there are still trolls out there, Fred. There are still actual people who are trolling.
Well, if you're a regular person that's not in media or have something or business to promote, if you're just an individual on it, I would imagine the only reason you have it is to argue. Yeah. And then I would make the argument that you're arguing with AI or you're arguing with, Russian bots. Like every political argument you have, there's a 50-50 chance you're not even arguing against a person. It's against some program that the Russians made. So, or China made, I don't know. But it just seems like you're chasing your tail a little bit. Doesn't seem like the healthiest thing in the world. But nonetheless, this was only sent to me. And it's confirmation of a bit that we did with Hardy.
Okay.
This is from Kyle. It says, "Morning, Fred. I don't know if you remember, but Hardy had some tree work done at his house earlier in the spring. I was the one that completed the work on his house. When I finished up, we got to talking shop, and I showed him some things on the way. Felling a tree works?
Yeah.
I mentioned something along the lines of him seeing what I did because I'd imagine he'd be watching. Without hesitation, this man says, 'Oh, yeah, I was watching you right in the attic window.' So I can confirm he's definitely standing there with his hands behind his back watching." And that's Kyle from Tree Tech.
Yeah. Kyle from Tree Tech. And the attic window was the best vantage point for what Kyle was doing out there.
Because he
Now,
was
did
high
you-
up on the tree.
Did you make it so he couldn't see you looking at him through the attic window? Did you like crouch and just like get at eye level with the...
I imagine I felt pretty safe up there because there would be no reason for him to be staring up at that section of the house. So I felt pretty safe. But the best part of that whole thing was Kyle actually left behind a rope by accident. He had gone like deeper into the woods and
Did you
tied
put it
off.
around your neck?
No, he called afterward and said, "Hey, I think I left a rope out there. Is there any way you could check for me?" I said, "Oh boy, can I?" And went out there and retrieved the rope. And then, you don't make like a tight knot of it. You just kind of like loosely wind it.
You wouldn't knot it up.
No,
I know that.
You let the rope like an extension cord. It's like, what's the best way to wind it? It's like, let it wind itself. It wants to go into a certain shape, and you let that thing go into the shape it wants. And I left it on the front porch for him.
So I bought a hose for the first time since I've owned this new home because I can clean the mats that my dog diarrhea's on.
Yeah.
When he's in
So you don't have to buy a new one every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're $5, but nonetheless. And I had a friend over, and I was like unfurling the hose.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what they make that you should get is it's like a wheel that you roll the hose up on. And I just stopped and I looked at them and I'm like, you didn't think how would I not know that?
Yeah.
Like, you think so little of me that you think that I don't know. And I actually got irritated. I'm like, you think I don't know that there's a device that rolls the hose up?
What length hose is it, Fred?
I'd say it's about 10 feet.
Okay.
It's not a very long hose.
No, it certainly is not.
But I don't have a very big backyard, if you want to call that a backyard.
Okay.
It's a fenced-in yard where the dog can meander and there's a porch.
I was going to say, I have an extra hose reel right now, but it would be overkill for a 10-foot hose.
Yeah, I don't think I even need the thing, to be honest with you, if I can be frank.
So how is that? How is the hose laying there now? Do you coil it at all, or is it just?
It's like a cobra getting ready to strike right now. It's not on the grass. It's on the cement. So we're good. Now the grass is all dead because it's been trampled on by my dog.
Yeah.
And fecal matter and urine and those things are all over it. And again, I walk my dog twice a day. I'm still fascinated. There's someone within the vicinity of my home whose lawn has not been cut. Like, it just has not been cut at all, which is fine. And then they have like wild flowers in front, which I imagine is like for bees. Like, you ever get these people, they like the bees. They're saying the bees are being killed off. So I understand the wildflowers, and I understand not cutting your lawn, fine. But then they have a don't pee sign on an uncut lawn. I mean, I'm telling you, it might be 6 inches long, the grass. It's like falling over. It's like tumbleweed. It's like British Open.
You care enough to have the don't pee sign, but you don't care about how the rest of it looks.
And again, you live, like, if you don't want dogs to come by and pee on your lawn, like, look, if you have like a garden, I get it. But like, if you don't want dogs to pee on your lawn, make more money and move into a gated community. Like, move to a house on a hill with a gate.
Yeah.
Like, you're part of a real jammed up area. And like, dogs are domestic house pets that we're encouraged to adopt. Like, this is supposed to be a good thing. And you can't just mark your yard as something that a dog can't pee on. Like, it's ridiculous. So like, the guy next to you, like, his is the yard that can be peed on. You're part of the community.
Yeah.
Knock it off with the don't pee. Tony Romo got DUI. Thoughts? That's from Dan.
Least surprising DUI in recent memory.
Yeah, I think, I don't know Tony Romo, but my advice to him would be knock it off. Because he showed up at something and was wasted a couple years ago here.
Yep.
And now he's got a DUI, and that's one more DUI than I have. And I had to quit drinking. So my advice to him would be, I don't have a DUI and I quit drinking. I was pretty good about not driving after drinking, but yeah, I would imagine that Tony Romo is going to have to, figure it out. I mean, he's not 21 years old. I mean, he's my age. He's getting DUIs. I mean, it's a mistake that a much younger man would generally make.
Yeah. You got this one too, Fred. I can understand the Freudian theory behind the foot fetish, but help me understand the reason why John wants to get smothered and brought within an inch of his life for the pleasure. The heavy low-hanging fruit is, of course, that John's mother goose sat on his eggs so much that he craves it as an adult. It's actually a very good theory, as you were being essentially smothered by your mother as you were incubating. But seriously, what kind of sick human wants to be smothered by a heavy, stinky butt? Gross, that is from Ben. Well, that person is John, and I think he found it. It might be low-hanging fruit, but I didn't think of it. It seems like a rather obvious answer now.
That's not how it happened. I can tell you, like so many fetishes, this stuff kind of happens by accident, and then
there are no accidents.
Didn't think you would necessarily like it, but all of a sudden you realize, wow, that's giving me more of a jolt than I thought. So that's how it happened.
Oh, it just happened. That's your big reasoning.
This is something I had never tried before. The woman I was with wanted to.
Oh, I didn't know you've done it IRL.
Yeah.
I didn't know you've done it in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she wanted to do it.
She wanted to try this, and I was like, I don't know. That sounds pretty dangerous.
Do you remember the phrase that she used?
No, I don't remember the phrase that she used.
Well, paraphrase it.
I want to try something. That paraphrasing, as I remember, it's a very long time ago. So yes,
I call it cake smushing. That's interesting. So, sometimes I feel like I'm too boring because I don't have a thing. I just enjoy the regular stuff. I don't have like a thing, and I wonder if I'm quite boring. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't believe that I have any kind of unusual fetish. But good for you. It makes you a more interesting person. It's better than me. It's got nothing. It just had to be made in the 90s, basically.
I understand.
For me to enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's the golden age.
Brandon has emailed a couple of times now about a pitching mound that he's building for his kid.
Yeah,
he included photos.
Yeah,
very nice work.
He didn't purchase a pitching mound like I did. A pitching mound that has literally never been used. But it was kind of thrown in with some other stuff, $10,000 worth of stuff. But he is DIYing the whole thing, right?
Oh, yeah. Yesterday he said he used the rototiller to loosen the dirt for the mound area and the lane leading to home plate and the plate area. Then he used his brand new tamper. Ooh. And tamped the dirt. Laid down some landscaping cloth.
You got one of those? You got a tamper?
I have just a hand tamper. Oh, yeah, that's what he's got. Yeah, I've got the same thing. I mean, they have a machine one. For like when you have to tamp, like, dude, he's going to be out there tamping for a long time with that thing.
But Milo still uses the batting cage. He uses it to throw. So it actually was like a really good thing that he used a lot because he used to use it every day to hit, but now he doesn't really hit. So he won't play catch with me anymore because I don't like it so much.
Well, yeah, you had a hard time handling the breaking balls, right?
Well, I won't let him throw a breaking ball to me, but his regular ball moves enough that it's hard to get my glove soundly on.
He's got the lefty movement on his pitches.
And I don't play catch with anyone else. So, I'll go to move my hand, and it will bounce off the bottom of the I have to wear a catcher's mitt, obviously.
Yeah.
I can't wear a regular glove with them. And so I wear a catcher's mitt, and the thing moves, and it will bounce off the bottom and hit me. So he's annoyed with me, so he'll just throw it against the big rubber thing in the batting cage. So that actually was I'll stand by that purchase. It was used. It would have been a real kick in the nuts if I would have had those people come out, install all that stuff, and he never used it. That would have been just like I burned a lot of money. And it's also not in my backyard. So that's a positive thing, too, because it's not my thing to deal with now when this will eventually have to come down.
Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, holy, that has had many dead animals in it. Because those stupid animals will get in there, and they can't figure out how to get out, and then they'll just die. Like a squirrel or something. They'll just get in there, and then I don't know they're in there, obviously. No one knows they're in there.
Right.
And they just, loiter in there until they die. Dog comes in with a dead squirrel in its mouth.
Now people are upset with John. How intuitive. It just happened. What happened when you were younger, damn it?
younger, like with my mother.
We'll
type of
get a
thing?
hypnotist in here and we'll figure the whole thing out. Nothing better on the radio than a hypnotist.
There's Tim who said the lady that sat on John's face, maybe she just wanted to try to get him to stop talking.
Yeah, maybe he had interrupted one too many jokes.
Yeah.
He's making small talk about that. I want to try something.
I really want to humiliate you. Like you thought you were in the clear just because I'm 300 pounds, but that's not the case. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports.
Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what is going on today?
I'm glad you asked, as I was just distracted for a minute by a guy who had pulled off the side of the road, take a picture of some scenery, and a bear snuck up behind him and started sniffing his leg and then tried to bite his leg, and the guy didn't notice until another car pulled up behind him and presumably started honking. So the guy would turn around and look at the bear who was standing behind him. And I'm pretty sure it's not AI.
Well,
the bison guy, by the way, who got flipped over and said it was he wasn't blaming the bison for the old guy that we've seen in the video
got flipped by the horns. Yeah,
no, I don't know this. I don't know what you're talking about.
The guy was at Yellowstone, and the bison is acting strangely, even for someone who's never seen a bison before. He's kind of pawing at the dirt, and he's rubbing himself, and you could tell the bison is kind of agitated. This is not just a buffalo just enjoying his day. He's pissed off. He's rabid. There's something going on in the bison's life. They say everybody's going through something. This bison was going through something, and the guy he's standing there looking at it.
Instead of backing up, he's like, "Let me go in for a closer look."
And to his credit, he tries to run behind some trees. The buffalo just knocks the trees down trying to get to the guy and eventually catches up to him after they Keystone Cop it for a while and then flips him up in the air, 8 feet in the air. The guy goes ass over tea kettle and lands and hurts himself, of course. Now the guy is saying the buffalo wasn't demonstrating any signs that there was anything off. Have you seen the video? We've all seen the video.
How is this on tape?
Somebody else was taping it from a different angle.
From a distance. The video is from a guy who's 50 yards away.
Okay. Because Mike Lombardi, if you go to the things he's reposted, put up a very moving piece of video where a tree, eagle's nest is knocked down, and a man hurriedly takes the eagle's eggs up to his 40th floor apartment, incubates them, they're birthed, and while they're incubating, the eagle comes up to his patio, his outside of his window on the 40th floor, and waits, and then starts building a nest on one of his chairs he has out there, and then the man finally gives the young hatchlings out to the eagle, and then the eagle takes them and begins to nurture them.
It's a wonderful video.
And Mike Lombardi put that up, obviously under the impression that really happened, which is astoundingly dumb.
Yeah.
It's astoundingly dumb. The eagle knew.
Maybe it's a metaphor for something else that he's using in recruitment.
Oh yeah, I leave open that possibility that
he just without comment or without anything that is reposted as some kind of subliminal message to his recruits.
Maybe look at this video and tell me what you think. It's pretty good, huh? You should come play football for Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Well, apparently he's not that charming, according to Dan Wetzel.
No, come on.
What is the fastest growing music genre in the United States so far in 2026?
AI rock?
EDM.
Electronic music, Fred.
Dang.
Fastest growing music genre in the U.S. this year. There's also a surge for interest in Latin music, thanks to artists like Karol G, Shakira, and Bad Bunny. But the stats found in a mid-year report that analyzes all things from the industry, artists like Disco Lines and John Summit are driving the trend. Now, could you make the argument that all other genres have stagnated, so therefore one of them had to come out on top? What did you think it was going to be? rock music?
No, rock music is currently dead. Was it
going to be
how country music could get any bigger? It can't. Like country music has probably hit the tipping point where it couldn't get any bigger.
And I would say hip hop is the same way. It's like it's big, but what's going to make it grow?
And what is hip hop now? Like it's kind of not genre specific anymore because it doesn't necessarily have to be rapping. It can be like kind of like an auto-tune singing or like even singing.
Right. So
like who knows?
The 10 core music genres are: number 1 is R&B/hip hop. Number 2 is still rock, but presumably based on stuff that was made in the 90s and before.
Yeah, Great White carrying that.
Yeah.
Great White and Warrant.
Pop,
Slaughter. Trickster.
Which I don't know what constitutes pop music anymore.
Pretty Boy Floyd.
Country, Latin, and then dance electronic is at number 6, which apparently has eclipsed the surges from jazz, children's music, Christian gospel, and world music.
You know what I do is I listen to jazz when I read to really bother my kids. Because I can't listen to anything with lyrics, and I don't like classical music, so I'll put jazz on, which I do. I do like a Love Supreme by John Coltrane, and I do like Miles Davis of the late mid-50s to like 60. I do like that like kind of sparse, cool jazz as a background. I don't study it, but as a background while I'm reading, and I can imagine how aggravating that is. To your father put a record on the record player and put the record needle on it and then sit down all smugly. Listen, look at me. Look at me.
Quite performative.
Yeah.
Very performative. Very annoying. And I'll make my daughter is actually reading, and because we have this reading time, and I'll put the jazz on in the background, infuriating her. Skiddly diddly diddly diddly. And what I also like doing is going when we're at a restaurant or at a store and they're playing a piece of jazz that I know, screaming the artist's name.
Don't say that.
Oh yeah,
my father did that when I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
Benny Goodman. Thank you.
At least,
thank you,
but
Dad.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know how annoying. And then I'll just
He
stare.
didn't, though. That was the worst part.
And then I'll stare at someone.
Oh.
I'll go, "That's Coltrane." Like to you, that's just background noise.
Yeah.
But to me, I recognize
Yeah.
I can recognize the song and put it with the artist.
That's right.
To you, it's just a bunch of random notes.
John's father yelling out, Scott Joplin.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Pennsylvania 65000, Jonathan. Thank you. Thanks, Dad.
no, he's like
Great.
Elaine.
Yeah.
Elaine learned it all from her father. Got to win the big thing.
Oh, that's right.
All right. We will be back tomorrow, you would assume. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow. Toucher and Hardy on the